found at a Publix on Highway 155 in Henry County. It's unclear whether he stole another vehicle at that point or is still on foot. Shane is now believed to be wearing a red hoodie and dark pants. He is a white male, 5'9", 52 years old, and is considered armed and dangerous. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Now we're also watching another manhunt, this one in Loganville, following the broad daylight fatal shooting of a CVS worker there. Loganville police say they're working with state and federal agencies to track down the person who shot 62-year-old Kimberly Whaley in the store's parking lot along Highway 78 at Conyers Road back in mid-November. The police chief admits they're limiting information to the public for now to prevent jeopardizing the case. It is 43 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says the rain will fully move out of metro area by lunchtime today, but it'll stay chilly. High only getting into the mid to upper 40s with breezy conditions today. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. It's back to the polls again today in Fulton County, where several races must be decided.
Seats for mayor, city council, and school board are up for grabs. Mayor's races are on the ballot in East Point, Roswell, and Sandy Springs. Runoffs in Atlanta include city council districts 7 and 11 and 3 seats on the Atlanta Public Schools Board of Education. Sandy Springs voters will also decide the city council district 4 race. In South Fulton, city council races in districts 2 and 4 will be settled. Voters should review the full list of Election Day polling sites on the Secretary of State's My Voter page before going to vote. Bill Caiaccio, 95.5 WSB.
And voters in Tennessee decide today a special election in the state's 7th congressional district that has caught national attention. Republican Matt Van Epps is expected to win in that Republican-heavy district, but political reporter Hunter Woodall says the GOP seems to be in a lose-lose situation.
They're supposed to win it in their eyes, but if they don't perform well, Democrats are going to seize on it. You're already seeing that Democratic expectation setting. After Mark Green, the person that held the seat, won this by more than 20 points. Democrats get this single digits, they're going to feel good.
Some polling shows the race is in low single digits, which he says Democrats will try to use as momentum heading into next year's midterms. Now, looking for a breakthrough in Moscow today as Russian President Vladimir Putin set to meet this hour with U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, along with President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, as talks continue over a possible deal between Russia and Ukraine.
This is Witkoff's 6th visit to Russia this year, and at the heart of this, they're expected to discuss and deliberate over what he and the Ukrainians talked about on Sunday in Florida about the evolution of that initial 28-point peace plan that was floated about 2 weeks ago now by the U.S. and Russia.
And correspondent Ramy Inocencio says that original plan was criticized by Ukraine as being too friendly to Russia, but the White House insists some concessions have been made. And it's yet another warning about how much energy will be needed to power all those data centers popping up around the U.S.
Demand for U.S. data center power will likely triple by 2035 to 106 gigawatts. That's up from 41 gigawatts this year. That forecast represents a 36% jump from Bloomberg's previous outlook published back in April and illustrates just how quickly this sector is expanding. The use cases for these data centers are also shifting. By 2035, AI inference and training will account for nearly 40% of U.S. data center capacity, driving overall utilization to 69% as the market shifts toward AI and hyperscale facilities. I'm Bloomberg's Erica Herskowitz for 95.5 WSB.
It's 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. And first, the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Smile, Mark McKay.
Sloppy, slow ride into downtown Atlanta. Judd, 75-85 northbound. Still heavy on the brakes as you leave Langford Parkway. Loaded up past John Lewis Freedom Parkway. That's keeping the pressure on the ride through East Atlanta. I-20 westbound slowing as you leave Flat Shoals Gresham. Before you get there, crews are still working to disperse the standing water that remains in the HOV Express lane, I-20 westbound past Candler Road, exit 65. Watching the slow ride still in place out of Alpharetta. Ashley Frasca.
400 southbound are on the brakes beginning before Old Milton Parkway down to Holcomb Bridge. It looked like there was northbound trouble around Haynes Bridge, but that doesn't seem to be blocking any travel lanes. 85 south, slowest between 316 and Beaver Ruin, and then inside the perimeter down from Shallowford Road, and still a few brake lights into Woodstock. 575 south passing the outlet shops. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies, breezy and chilly today, high 48. Clearing out for tonight, lows dropping to the low 30s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, high 51. Mostly cloudy on Thursday, high 49.
It is 42 degrees right now in Ackworth, 41 in Conyers, 42 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome, friends, on this dreary Tuesday. We're going to hopefully brighten your day for the next 3 hours. Mark Aram and crew with a ton of stuff to talk about. You heard Judd's award-winning newscast there. Got movement in the Russia-Ukraine talks. We'll talk to White House correspondent John Decker in just a little bit. Author Ace Atkins is going to join us live, and we're going to have complete coverage on this narco boat controversy that just will not go away. In a couple of minutes, we're going to go to the White House, check in with Karen Travers from ABC. Scott Slade's going to join us this post-Thanksgiving edition of Scott Slade of the Mark Aram Show. Deborah, he's going to talk about drones, and I'm glad because do you own a drone? Do you know
it's not my thing. I've seen them flying around. That's about it.
I think they're super cool when they're not killing people in wars and all that stuff. But I've never operated a drone. But Scott apparently now is a drone pilot. He's a regular airline pilot, and now he's a drone pilot. So Scott Slade is going to join us live in depth at 10:35. And Deborah, we have tickets to give away today. Probably my favorite musical tickets of the season.
Yeah, TSO, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Gas South Arena. So we have a couple pair of tickets to give away today.
Excellent. I do want to start off with our top local story, and I apologize because we didn't get around to it yesterday. It involves that escaped prisoner from Grady Hospital. Heard this morning for Lieutenant Billy Burrell from the Rockdale Sheriff's Office.
A couple of leads that we're working on, some leads that have not really panned out. Trying to get the more finer details.
He covered the story live this morning on Atlanta's Morning News with Chris Chandler. He now joins us live in studio, Mr. Graham Carroll. Gramsicle, thanks for coming in.
Good morning.
This is a big story. We have well, apparently there are two now escaped convicts out on the run. Let's focus on this one out of Rockdale County. What exactly happened here, and where do we stand this Tuesday morning?
Well, so it all began yesterday morning when this inmate was taken to Grady Hospital from Rockdale County by Rockdale Sheriff's deputies because of an apparent suicide attempt at the jail.
Okay.
At the jail. So they brought him to Grady for a mental health evaluation. While he was at the hospital, he managed to elude authorities. He got out of the hospital, stole an SUV from near the hospital, drove it about a mile away and crashed. Took off on foot in a hospital gown and barefoot.
Oh, my goodness.
But apparently there was a weapon inside that vehicle, so they now believe that he is armed with that handgun from that vehicle, and he was last seen on foot in downtown Atlanta yesterday morning. They picked up his trail a little bit later when they used surveillance footage to determine that he stole a car from near Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and then he took off headed east.
So at the very least, we know this guy knows how to steal a car. Not one, but two automotive thefts after he escapes this mental eval at Grady Hospital. In those, and forgive me if you don't know the answer, but you know he escapes in the hospital gown. In that security camera footage, have we heard from authorities if he has stolen clothing along the way? Do we have any idea what garb he might be in at this point?
Yeah, so somewhere between the crashed SUV and the stolen what was a silver Pontiac Grand Prix, he managed to also get himself outfitted in some dark pants and looks like a red hoodie sweatshirt that he's last seen wearing. He did take that car. He drove that Grand Prix to a parking lot of a Publix store in Henry County.
Wow.
And at that point, he then exited that vehicle. And then there are reports that he may have ordered an Uber with an intent to go to a house location in Rockdale County, but a search warrant was conducted there apparently and did not turn up anything. So last whereabouts that he's known to have been seen was at that Publix parking lot where that car was left.
This is a wild, wild story. Graham Carroll joining us live in studio, updating our top local story this morning on WSB Radio. The suspect, we presumed armed and now fully clothed. Do we know anything about him, what he was originally in the Rockdale County Jail for, what his background is?
Yeah, so he is a 52-year-old white male. He's 5'9". He has a buzz cut. He has a history of fleeing, evidently. So this is someone who is familiar to law enforcement. He was arrested on November 24th, originally on charges that included drug possession, reckless driving, which checks out given the wreck that he had in the first stolen vehicle.
And a mile out of Grady, he gets in that crash.
Yeah, and then apparently he also was fleeing police initially on his initial arrest. And what's not clear, at least to our reporting thus far, is whether or not this is his first encounter with the law or if he had been arrested previously for similar types of incidents.
All right, so still on the loose. We assumed armed, potentially dangerous, from Rockdale to Grady to Henry, and now we don't know.
Right. And the last thing that we heard was from Rockdale Sheriff's Office that they were going to do another update later today. based on what transpires over the course of the day. So we'll certainly be staying on top of that. But yeah, at this point, I have to say, unfortunately, this guy is, considered armed and dangerous, and whereabouts currently unknown. Last seen in the Henry Rockdale County area.
Yeah, it could be anywhere now. All right. Graham Carroll, thanks for going in depth and explaining the story. I meant to get to it yesterday, but it was still developing. Unfortunately, that man's still on the run. One more piece of audio from Lieutenant Billy Burrell from the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office on how he wound up at Grady Hospital in the first place.
We tried to take inmate Shane to Piedmont, Rockdale, but they did not accept him, and that's their protocol because he had tried to commit suicide in the jail. So we brought him to Grady to get him evaluated.
Yeah, really crazy story. So please be careful out there. Complete updates, any new information. I know the newsroom is working diligently to get some more stuff out of the Rockdale County Sheriff's Department, but never good when you have a possibly armed and dangerous fugitive on the run here in Metro Atlanta. So again, any new information, you'll hear it live. Tops in the bottom of the hour, news 24/7 here on 95.5 WSB. All right, let's turn our attention now to this narco boat controversy. Covering the story, ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers. Karen, good morning. 24 hours later, we got some new information yesterday from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirming that the second strike on a vessel in the Caribbean actually did happen. What other information did we get yesterday from the press secretary?
Yeah, some details from the White House, but it's not going to stop the clamoring for, more answers from Capitol Hill. And we're certainly hearing it from both Democrats and Republicans up on Capitol Hill. Yesterday, the White House wasn't confirming or denying that there were survivors after the first strike on this boat on September 2nd, but did claim that the strikes were legal and carried out under the orders of Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and the mission commander, Navy Admiral Frank Bradley. Now, Caroline Leavitt said yesterday that Secretary Hegseth authorized Bradley to conduct these strikes and that Bradley worked well within his authority and the law, directing the engagement to ensure the boat was destroyed. But there were questions then about what threat any potential survivors would have posed to necessitate the second strike, and the White House dodged that question. Yesterday, we also heard from the Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, who seemed to be putting the blame for the second strike squarely on Admiral Bradley. Hegseth wrote on X, "I stand by him and the combat decisions he has made on the September 2nd mission and all others since." But it's important here just to go back because the Washington Post original report said that Bradley launched that second strike because of Hegseth's initial order, which was to kill everyone. And remember, back in September, we went and looked. The day after the strike, Hegseth was on Fox News, and he said that he had watched that strike in real time. He said, "I watched it live. We knew exactly who was on the boat." So a lot of questions about how long he watched. Did he see that there were still survivors? And did he watch through that second strike?
Yeah, and 24 hours ago, correct me if I'm wrong, Karen, Secretary Hegseth was taken to social media saying this was a fake news story, that there was no second strike and this was nothing. There's nothing to see here is what he was claiming before the new information we got yesterday.
Yeah, he had originally called the Post report fabricated, but, had said that the military had acted in compliance with the law of armed conflict. And that's an important part of this, too. The Post report had said that the goal of the second strike was to kill the two survivors who were, clinging to the wrecked boat. International law prohibits killing enemy combatants who are not able to fight back. And this is what lawmakers are keying in on, questions about whether there was something unlawful here, whether there was a war crime committed here. And there will be investigations by the House and Senate Armed Services Committees. At least that's what they're indicating right now, that they're going to look into this. Oversight is how they're putting it. But notable to hear Republicans say they want to hear more answers from the White House on this.
Karen Travers from ABC joining us on the Mark Arum Show. Do you think that this investigation will have teeth, or do you think this is a story that will probably go away?
I don't think this will go away just yet. I think if lawmakers are pushing for this, it's not clear if the White House or the Pentagon is going to be looking into this, but Capitol Hill seems very keen to dig into this. We're going to see the president today with his cabinet, and usually Pete Hegseth is sitting right to the president's left. We'll see if they get questions about this today, and if Hegseth himself gets questions on this while he's in the cabinet room with the president.
Interesting. Final quick question. I had never heard the name U.S. Navy Admiral Frank Bradley before yesterday. Have we heard from him? Do you think we'll hear from him?
I don't believe we have seen a statement from him. Usually, well, I don't want to say we haven't because I'd have to go back and check.
Sure.
But, usually it's the person above. So if Pete Hegseth is speaking for the Pentagon, then that's the statement.
All right, Karen, great stuff as always. Thanks for your time.
Have a great day.
All right, so it was an interesting press conference. I was able to watch it live yesterday after the show with Caroline Levitt, and there's been an about face because when we were talking about this story on the show yesterday, Deborah, we mentioned Secretary Hegseth's Truth Social and tweet saying this is fake news. This never happened. The double strike, double tap hit never happened. Now they're admitting that it did happen, but apparently pointing all fingers to Admiral Frank Bradley. I don't know the protocol when it comes to military actions or orders like that. Luckily, we have access to Colonel Jeff McCausland, military analyst for CBS. So he's going to join us live after the news at 10 and get his perspective on exactly what went down on that strike on September 2nd and what, if any, repercussions might happen going forward as they continue to investigate that. But certainly new information this morning on a story that is gathering a lot of steam there in the nation's capital. All right, when we come back, we're going to update our top local stories, plus previewing more talks between Russia, Ukraine, and the United States trying to finally end that bloody war. Right now, though, checking the ride around town on this dreary Tuesday morning. He's bright and cheery. Good morning, Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. As I speak, all lanes blocked right now, just temporarily, though, as they try to move a crash from the left lane to the right shoulder in Marietta. Live look at the jam cam. This is 75 southbound, right at South Marietta Parkway. You can always use the express lanes if you have a Peach Pass. They are southbound, or use Cobb Parkway, but lanes should reopen within the next couple seconds here on 75 South at South Marietta Parkway. Another crash working in Sandy Springs, 75 eastbound. The interloop right at New Northside Drive, Powers Ferry Road exit 22. That involves a box truck. One right lane is blocked and slow as you leave I-75 crossing over the river. This report is brought to you by Staples. Have an easy holiday at Staples. Save on top tech and gaming gifts, shipping supplies, and services to get your packages there safely. Even custom cards and wrapping paper. Staples. That was easy. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
Informative and topical when you want it.
And he's involved in keeping Chinese communist students at American University. And a break when you need it. I forgot to leave food out for the cat. Can you go check on the cat? Eric Erickson. By belittling other people, you show your tribal loyalty.
Today, starting at noon, 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Jaws dropping, oohs and ahs? That's what you want to hear. A gorgeous, well-crafted home exterior makes you look and feel like $1,000,000.
Hi, it's Charlie, owner of Painting Plus. See pictures of the jaw-dropping exteriors we've crafted for your neighbors. Just click recent projects on our site.
Locally owned Painting Plus. The plus means anything and everything exteriors at the highest quality. Your complete exterior solution.
Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
The Original Mattress Factory wants to help elevate your sleep experience this holiday season. We'll be giving away a queen-size adjustable bed set in our Comfort and Joy raffle. When paired with our hand-built mattresses, our premium adjustable beds make everyday activities like reading and watching TV in bed more comfortable. Visit any OMF location by December 18th to enter and for all official rules. No purchase is necessary to win. The Original Mattress Factory, bringing you tidings of comfort and joy this holiday season.
Hey, y'all, it's Belinda Skelton, and many of you know I've been talking about the amazing folks at Four Seasons Home Care for quite a while now. So many of you have asked me questions about if home care is right for your aging parents. So I brought in my expert, Deborah Barron of Four Seasons Home Care. Okay, Deborah, the main thing that people ask me is how flexible is home health care? Do I have to lock into a long contract?
There's no binding contract. We just have a service agreement that you would sign, and there's nothing that locks you into a plan. So we try to be flexible to follow the needs of your parent. Some of our clients start with just a few days a week, and I think that's a great way to ease into things.
Now, Deborah, I know that my parents needed a lot of care. They needed 24-hour around-the-clock care. But I'm sure some clients only need help preparing meals, things like that. How does Four Seasons Home Care deal with that?
Yes. So a big part of our process, and I believe the most important one, includes a home visit from our registered nurse. And she is going to sit down with your family member and go over everything and see exactly what you might need. Some people may just need a little bit of care, and others may need more in-depth, hands-on care. So they are brilliant at laying out a plan of care that's tailored for each situation. And I think you really need that kind of customization to ensure your parents get exactly what they need.
Folks, if you have aging parents who are clear that they want to age in place in the comfort of their homes, I cannot recommend enough the experts like Deborah at Four Seasons Home Care. It's 100% free and is such a crucial step in getting your parents what they need for their care and allows you, the child, to do your role, and that's just love them and be there for them. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
MSC Cruises Black Friday sale is here with the best deal of the year. Cruise from $199. Plus, get up to $1,000 onboard credit and kids sail free. Experience MSC Cruises' signature blend of European style and American comfort, from global flavors to Broadway-style shows and more. Book your next holiday to must-see destinations like the Caribbean, Europe, and beyond. MSC Cruises. Let's holiday. To book, visit msccruises.com or contact your travel advisor. Restrictions apply. Ships registered in Panama and Malta.
2 homes, same block. One sold for way more because they used Orchard. Move first, skip the stress, and sell for top dollar. Don't wait. Get your free home valuation now at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. Come see for yourself. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
If you're ready for real European car lovers to work on your Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi, discover Wolfpan European Auto Repair in Roswell. And for a limited time, get a free second opinion on repairs when you mention you heard about Wolfpan on the radio. Search Wolfpan Auto Repair to get started.
You better watch out. You may not be able to fight like a samurai, but you can at least die like a samurai.
Oh, great actress in a great movie. Happy 57th birthday to Lucy Liu. 57, Deborah. She looks amazing. I follow her on Instagram. She does not follow me. That was from Kill Bill. Great movie, great sequel. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. We're going to get a preview on the Russia-Ukraine talks in just a second. But really big news locally here. The Georgia Lottery hit a milestone. And is this the amount they've given to Hope Scholarships or the amount of money they brought in total? What's this $30 billion number?
All right, so this $30 billion, every time you buy a lottery ticket, it goes into the scholarships funds for the Georgia State here.
Hopes.
And this,
Hope Scholarship.
Well, not just Hope, though. This also helps fund education throughout, so like pre-K programs and
Head Start,
all of that stuff. But yeah, since its inception in 1993, $30 billion. So every time you buy one of those tickets, a scratch off, whatever, don't feel too guilty about it if you don't lose. Like, I know it's disappointing, but you are helping somebody out there.
That's great. $30 billion since 1993. I'm not telling the Georgia Lottery how to do their business, but there are some amazing stories there that they should go back and find a kid that was in the Head Start program in 1994 that benefited from the Georgia Lottery. And what are they doing now? I bet there's like wildly successful folks that have come up and blossomed because of the Georgia Lottery and Hope and all that stuff.
When I heard about Hope Scholarship, I fell over. I'm like, oh my God,
Isn't
college
that
is
crazy?
free. I was like, why? I told my parents, I'm like, why didn't we live in Georgia? Why didn't I get to go to school down there? It would have been amazing to not have to pay so much money for school.
I felt the same way when I first moved down here. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean they pay for what? And then I thought about it. I would not have qualified for Hope Scholarship. My grades were not good enough.
I bet if that incentive was there, you would have worked hard for it, knowing, like, my parents would have massively encouraged me to be like, hey, if you want to go to school, like, it wasn't an option.
I had a college scholarship and didn't work hard to keep it. So I don't think that 2 years younger Arum would have worked harder. I just think that's probably, I mean, it's wildly successful. It's phenomenal. I love the program, but there's got to be a ton of pressure on high school students in Georgia, knowing that, hey, you got to maintain whatever GPA or,
Vinny, did you get Hope?
I did get Hope, yes.
Was there a lot of pressure, Vin, to be able to get the grades in order to qualify for Hope?
Not to qualify, but to keep it is where the pressure is.
Yeah, thank
'cause
you.
It's in college, so it's harder.
Because when Vinny Drip, down south Vinny, gets to the campus, all bets are off.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
fit. Are you having that conversation with the girls, like, hey, Hope Scholarship? Or are you planning on sending them to, like, Texas A&M?
Might be the only way to go for some families to go to school.
Absolutely.
College is expensive as it is. I mean, how long were you and I paying off college? That was hard enough.
Deep into my adult career.
Yeah, exactly.
Deep into my adult career. But I wish that the program was available in Connecticut, but no. It never would have. I could have gone. My father was an adjunct professor at the University of Connecticut, and I'm pretty sure I could have gone to any institution, if not free, reduced, but I didn't take it. But my parents didn't force me or pressure me at all. But I should have done that. Speaking of the lottery, I saw our buddy English Nick yesterday, all dressed up. You know he does the lottery now.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
That's too much. That's more pressure.
To watch the little balls come up.
I would be so nervous to do that.
Is that a 6 or a 9?
Exactly. And then you only have like 30 seconds to do the whole thing. And if
You've been on TV for years, you'd be fine.
Yeah, but I don't have to read. No, I'm getting nearsighted, or I'm sure I don't know
What happened to your glasses?
They're still in my car. That's too much pressure doing that. John Crow, all the folks that do English Nick, that's too much pressure. I'd rather sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl than do the Fantasy 4 or Cash 5 or any of that sort. All right, we're going to continue our coverage of the narco boat controversy. We are hopefully going to hear from John Decker and preview the Russia-Ukraine talks. But we have a bunch of cool stuff coming up, including author Ace Atkins. He wrote a novel based in Atlanta. He's going to join us live at 9:50. And Scott Slade at 10:35, in depth on drone regulations. If you're planning on getting your loved one a drone this year, it's not so simple. Just open the box and let her rip. Scott will give us the details there. Social medias up and active throughout the broadcast at Mark Arum, at WSB Radio.
Please have snow and mistletoe.
Considering a new roof? FGA Roofing offers a free roof assessment. Mention Tim Andrews and your free quote will be discounted $750. And that's good for 1 year. Ask about their 0% financing plans. Visit FGAroofing.com for a quote today.
Will my hair really grow back? Do I still get to have a birthday party? Can my teddy come into the machine with me? Will you stay with me tonight, Mommy?
Every day, kids at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta ask questions they should never have to. By giving today, you can help us answer them. With your support, our kids get the care and treatment they need, and even a birthday they'll never forget. Give to Children's for that. Donate today at choa.org/give.
What if every home had a touch of magic, where every device was connected by an invisible force? It's not wizardry, it's the most intelligent Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. Wi-Fi so brilliant, it knows when to boost speeds to the devices that need it most, making the Emerald City Sparklify for your wicked watch party, or instantaneously pause any device without the tap of a wand, or grant your devices the power to protect against the threats at home and online, keeping you safe from mischief. And right now, you can cast a spell to stop time and keep your internet price steady for 5 years guaranteed. Plus, you get Wi-Fi equipment included, no contracts or commitments. Sure, it all feels like magic, but it's really intelligent Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Xfinity, imagine that. And see Wicked for Good. I saw it this weekend. Amazing. Only in theaters. Restrictions apply. Select plans only. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. Get all the details online at Xfinity.com. Xfinity.com.
Take advantage of Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning's holiday sale today for carpet cleanings at just $40 per room. And the star on top, when you schedule 3 rooms, add a staircase for just $1. Slots are filling fast, so easily schedule online at ZerorezAtlanta.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic,
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Dr. Roof. Our top story happening now, watching a pair of searches this morning for suspects in fatal incidents around Metro Atlanta. We start with a search for the escaped Rockdale County inmate believed to be armed and dangerous after disappearing from a mental health check at Grady Hospital. First stealing one vehicle and crashing it along Peachtree Street, police say Timothy Shane stole a second vehicle, which was later found in Henry County in a Publix on Highway 155. After leaving Grady in a hospital gown, it's believed Shane is now wearing a red hoodie and dark blue pants. Again, anyone with information should contact the Rockdale County Sheriff's Department. Meanwhile, federal investigators are now pitching in following a murder in Gwinnett County.
Loganville's police chief is working to reassure the community that they, quote, are leaving no stone left unturned when it comes to the killing of Kimberly Whaley. The 62-year-old CVS employee was shot in the head in the parking lot of the store where she worked November 14th. In a statement, Chief M.D. Lowry says the Secret Service, GBI, and several other law enforcement agencies are helping out with the case. There's been very limited information that's been released on the case, but the chief says that's by design, so nothing is jeopardized. He also is urging anybody with information about this case to call authorities. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
It is 44 degrees right now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says any rain from this morning should clear out of the metro area by lunchtime. But then see breezy conditions, the high sticking in the mid to upper 40s. Going to be chilly. Tonight's low get down near the freezing mark. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. A public hearing today in Gwinnett County for the latest 2026 budget proposal that totals $2.6 billion. Commission Chair Nicole Love Hendrickson notes it actually slashes $66 million in spending.
This budget really reflects our fiscal responsibility while also meeting the needs of our residents.
She says priorities include upgrading the county's 911 system and investing in road maintenance. Residents can actually weigh in on the budget online through year's end ahead of a final vote, which is set for January. Amazon says a test program will deliver some orders within 30 minutes after paying.
Those household items include some fresh groceries and over-the-counter medicines. The company says it will use specialized, smaller facilities for the deliveries. The fee will start at $13.99, discounted to $3.99 for Prime members. Amazon has a long history of experimenting with quick delivery from specialized urban facilities stocked with inventory similar to the products sold by convenience stores and pharmacies. I'm John Tucker for 95.5 WSB.
And a new study confirms potential risks of smartphone use by young children. Shows kids under 12 who get smartphones are more likely to experience depression, obesity, and sleep problems than those who get phones later in life. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel says a large portion of 12-year-olds in the study had those phones.
Kids that are 8 or 9 years old getting a smartphone as well. And now we have even more reason to think that smartphone use is directly tied to poor health outcomes.
He says the longer the kids use those devices, the more they actually rely on them. It is 9:33 as we check your money. Positive start on Wall Street. All major indices are well up to start your Tuesday, especially NASDAQ up over 100 points at the moment. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Mike Shields.
And Judd watching a crash in downtown Atlanta, trying to clear to the right shoulder. I-75-85 northbound, getting past John Lewis Freedom Parkway. It's been in the right lane as they try to push that over to the right shoulder and adding to the delays on the connector northbound as you leave Highway 166 in the airport, trying to get up to I-20. Also had a negative impact on I-20 westbound through East Atlanta, getting to the downtown connector. Things improving in Sandy Springs. Crash just cleared. 285 eastbound, the inner loop at New Northside Drive, Powers Ferry Road, exit 22, slow 2 miles back to I-75, and a crash cleared in Marietta, 75 southbound at South Marietta Parkway. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy, breezy, drizzly today with a high of 48. Will dry out for tonight, lows dipping down to near freezing. Tomorrow, a little bit more sunshine with a high of 51, becoming mostly cloudy again on Thursday, high 49.
40 degrees right now in Loganville, 41 in Alpharetta, 43 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10, breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
When we came up with the idea for Clark's Christmas Kids 35 years ago, I told myself we were going to help every foster child across the state. But we need your help. To find out how you can make a child's Christmas wishes come true, visit WSBradio.com.
Coming up next on the Mark Arum Show, updating our top local stories, including big news from Rivian and the possible impact it could have here in Metro Atlanta. 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
If you have a leaning brick porch, an uneven concrete driveway, a pool deck covered in cracks, or an uneven sidewalk you could trip over, you should get AquaGuard to come out and help you. Schedule a free visit today at aquaguard.net. Remember, AquaGuard.
Got a leaky pipe, heating, or cooling issue? Ace Hardware Home Services is around the corner with everything you need to fix it, including the expert to do the fixing. We're not just the helpful hardware folks, we're the helpful home service and repair folks too. From plumbing to heating and cooling, the licensed and insured experts at Ace Hardware Home Services are ready to keep your home running smoothly all year long. Online at acehardwarehomeservices.com or call 770-233-7787.
I used to feel like my house was the least festive on the street, but not anymore. I'm Chris Chandler, and Wise Guys installed the holiday lights on my home. They make it simple. You get a quote right on the first call, and they can be installed as soon as this week. And if the lights ever need a quick service, they're out fast, usually the same day. Wise Guys handles everything, custom fit, maintenance, takedown, even the storage, all done for you. Now, when I booked, their schedule was filling up. Barely got a spot. So lock in your installation and save $100 when you mention my name, Chris Chandler, if you book before December 14th. Just visit wiseguyslights.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Maybe you haven't heard about us. We're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless has you paying for more data than you might need. Why? They might want you to cover the costs of younger people who do use all that data. If you're not using the data, you're probably being used. We've heard time and time again that some Big Wireless customers get stuck paying hundreds and even thousands more for years and years because they think it's hard to switch. Not with us. It takes just about 20 minutes and you can change your plan anytime without extra charges. We use the same towers as the big guys, so you'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Our plans start at just $20 a month, and for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Blue Christmas. Welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. We have yet to hear, in my opinion, the greatest Christmas song of all time, but all Christmas music from now to the end of the year on the Mark Arum Show, as we do every year. Speaking of Christmas, the Christmas cards have been filtering through USPS?
There's just a couple more to get through.
Okay.
There's some people that haven't responded to
Gotcha.
a member. There's just a couple more to get through, so
Okay.
that should put them in the mail, hopefully by the end of the day.
And then Vinny's going to drive him down to the infamous Palmetto.
Yeah, we're taking them to the Palmetto one, so who knows how long it'll take to get to your house.
Fantastic. Speaking of Christmas, coming up at 11:37, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra, one of the greatest Christmas experiences of the season. Probably number 2 behind Clark's Christmas Kids, which is active this month. 3 visits to local Walmarts for Clark's Christmas Kids. Get the very latest online at WSBRadio.com or Clark'sChristmasKids.com. If you've listened to the show for any amount of time, you know how much I talk about the Rivian plant, right? The ups and the downs and what's going on and the future of the Rivian plant. It's been a crazy story here. Updating some Rivian news, tech reporter for ABC News, Mike Dubusky. Mike, good morning. A new announcement from Rivian that apparently is making some big waves in the automotive industry, announcing their quad motor. What exactly is the quad motor? I have no idea what that means. And what does it mean to folks here in Metro Atlanta?
Yeah, so Rivian makes 2 vehicles right now. They make the R1S, which is a full-size 3-row SUV, and they make an R1T, which is the same thing but just in pickup truck form. They are currently in the 2nd generation of this vehicle. It looks exactly the same as the 1st generation, but on the inside, they've done a lot of reworking, a lot of changes since this startup automaker launched these full-size electric vehicles just a few years ago. One of the many things that they've changed in the 2nd generation of this vehicle has to do with zonal architecture. So they are now, instead of making one computer for every component within the car, the infotainment screen, the air conditioning, the air suspension, whatever it happens to be, they're now going to take just a couple computers and have them handle various tasks nearby. So the computer in the front of the car handles the headlights and the power trunk and the, infotainment screen, and the one in the back of the car handles a whole host of different things that are near it. And the cost savings that come from that are pretty substantial from what we understand from Rivian. They also were able to save miles upon miles of copper wiring, which of course also saves on cost. The other new feature that is being added to the lineup with the second generation of these cars is a quad motor variant. This is a 4-motor electric vehicle, basically one Rivian developed motor for each wheel. I got a chance to drive this thing in the last week in the R1S form, so the SUV version of this. I took it down to see my family in Pennsylvania and southern New Jersey for Thanksgiving, and I was averaging about 250 to 300 miles of range, which is pretty decent. It had off-road tires on it, so that probably cut into the range somewhat. But the real benefit of having a quad motor Rivian is powerful. Is power. It has 1,025 horsepower. It has more than 1,100 pound-feet of torque. That makes it good for 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds, which I have to say was more than enough to suitably freak out everyone in the car when I put it into launch mode.
Yeah.
So that is one of the benefits of having quad motors. But of course, the downside is that it's quite pricey as well.
Mike, so just for clarification, so you mentioned the two types of automobiles that Rivian makes, the SUV and the pickup truck. These updates are for both, or just the pickup, or just the SUV?
They're for both. And they call them the second-gen Rivian R1 platform, but technically speaking, it's really more of a substantial update. The cars look really similar, and unless you're looking for details, really, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between a first generation and second generation. I mentioned cost there as well. These are luxury vehicles that Rivian is making, and they're kind of following the startup playbook, at least the EV startup playbook, to a T here, leading with the luxury product first, where the margins are high, and then using those margins to develop cheaper mass market vehicles, things like the $45,000 R2, which is a slightly smaller two-row SUV they plan to put on sale next year, one of the most hotly anticipated vehicles of next year if you talk to many auto enthusiasts, and that is going to be built at that plant in Georgia that you were referencing earlier.
Oh, excellent. Okay, yeah, so I just wanted to tie it back locally. So I would imagine the automotive industry, the EV industry, this is good news for Rivian moving forward, that they've made these adjustments, going to save cost, all that copper wire, and net benefit for the consumer as well.
Yeah, again, the sort of lessons learned in the vehicle that I was driving yesterday or the last week is now going to ideally trickle down to the next generation vehicles that they have on deck. In addition to the R2 in 2026, Rivian says they also plan to put on sale an R3, which is an even smaller, kind of almost compact hatchback looking sort of vehicle in 2027 as well. And that, we don't have a really targeted starting price there, but you can imagine it would be cheaper than the $45,000 R2. So Rivian really has a product offensive going. I think it's going to be really interesting to see, though, how successful it is, especially given some of the headwinds that the EV market is facing right now. Earlier this year, we saw the expiration of the federal government's EV tax credit, which could have contributed up to $7,500 off the cost of a new electric vehicle. Well, the R1S and the R1T were too expensive to even qualify for that credit in the first place, so it didn't really affect Rivian that much. These smaller vehicles, though, would have very much benefited from that, right? You knock $7,500 off an American-built two-row SUV at the kind of heart of the market. Well, that makes a pretty big difference for a lot of consumers. Now that credit is not there anymore. Is that going to affect Rivian sales? We'll have to wait and see until next year.
Indeed. Mike Dubusky, ABC News. Mike, great stuff as always. Thanks for your time.
Of course. Take care.
Good news for Rivian, and it's remarkable, Deborah, because I don't have the timeline, but let's just say we go back to December 2nd of 2024. That was last year, right? Yeah, last year. We didn't think that Rivian plant was ever going to get off the ground, right? They ceased production. They closed things down. And the fact now that project, that plant is alive and kicking, and Rivian's making these advancements, it's just the question of how quickly will Americans adopt electronic vehicles. Sanjay's pushing me to get an EV.
You'd be okay with an EV. You don't do really long
No,
distances.
I don't.
That'd be okay for you.
But I was like, I don't know how to charge at my house. Like, we have chargers here, right?
Yeah, we have chargers here, like
Yeah.
on the next floor up. Yeah.
He's like, you'll be fine if you just
They
charge
come
it
and
at
put them
work.
in your home. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Sanjay's pushing me towards EV.
You could use a new car.
Well, there's no doubt I need to get a new car. I'll get a new car by January 5th. That's my goal, to get a new car. Doubt it's going to be an EV, to be honest.
Sure.
I'm not that I'm opposed to EVs, but
Unless the right deal falls in your lap or something.
You know
right?
what? I'm going to pick Clark's brain at Clark's Christmas Kids.
Clark drives an EV.
Yes. And Brad Nitz drives one. Like, they're all over the place now. Did I just throw out Brad Nitz's
Gave out his license plate and everything.
I thought of Brad Nitz the other day. Actually, you have the story here, Deborah. So I mentioned on Saturday, Maya and I went to the movies to see Wicked, and we had a big lunch before. So going in, we didn't get popcorn and candy, whatever. But by the time the movie ended, I was starting to get hungry. So I got a popcorn to go with all the butter, and I've never done that before. But Brad Nitz will. This is what makes him such a badass. He'll just drive to the movie theater, not buy a ticket, get movie popcorn to go. Like, you have to have confidence to be like, no, I'm not. I just want a popcorn. I guess because he's Brad Nitz, Atlanta's chief meteorologist, that they're like, oh, yes, sir, Mr. Nitz. Speaking of which, AMC popcorn pass. I don't know if this was inspired by Brad Nitz's popcorn fetish. Fetish, the wrong word? But AMC is offering a popcorn pass for moviegoers.
Yeah, it's a perk that's going to cost you $30 plus tax, and you can use it at any of the AMC theaters. It's basically you get an additional popcorn anytime you go to the theater, but it's only good through December.
Oh.
So I don't know.
All right.
I don't go to the movies that much that it would help.
Neither does Nitz. He just goes and gets the popcorn.
But for him, it might be worth it.
I just think that's such a baller move. All right, 9:46 on the Mark Arum Show. When we come back, we're going to talk to author Ace Atkins. Got a new novel out set in Atlanta. Speaking of Atlanta, let's check them Atlanta roads. Live with the latest, here's Mike Shields.
Yeah, Mark, some better news in downtown Atlanta. Had a crash clear to the shoulder, 7585 northbound, just past John Lewis Freedom Parkway. Still sluggish though as you come up from the airport and Highway 166. Also crash cleared on the southeast leg of the perimeter, 285 westbound, the inner loop at Flat Shoals Parkway, exit 48. And another crash moved to the shoulder in McDonough, 75 southbound at Highway 2081. All lanes have reopened. The support is brought to you by Indeed.com. Stop just hoping for the right applicants to find your job. Sponsored on Indeed and match with their quality talent. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Again, that's Indeed.com/credit. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Wednesday at 5 for Atlanta's Morning News, rain chances for the rest of the week and our 5-day forecast, and why Clark Howard says used clothes are a great deal on 95.5 WSB.
Happy Giving Tuesday, everybody. It's Mark Arum back with you as you give to all your favorite charities today. How about giving something to yourself? Talking to all the guys out there that have a receding hairline or bald spots or thinning hair, give yourself something special on this Giving Tuesday after you donate, of course, to the amazing charities. And check out my friends at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair offers the proven, guaranteed solution that regrows your hair where it's currently gone. Best yet, it's a quick, simple one-day treatment, and your new hair is guaranteed to grow for life. If you want to get your hair back, now's the time, and Advanced Hair is the place. Takes just one visit, but first, you need a free consultation. Schedule now, 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com. And if you move forward, you get $250 off plus 250 free grafts. One-day treatment, life-changing results, your own natural hair guaranteed to grow. Advanced Hair. Yourself something on this Giving Tuesday.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed right here on 95.5 WSB. Well, Chris, as you know, time just keeps on ticking. We're putting another year under our belt, so it seems like a really good time to take stock of our financial lives and put together that plan that's built to last.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in, we'll work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on Portfolio X-ray, or click on Full Retirement Plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
The weather outside is frightful,
But the Mark Arum Show is so delightful. 9:51 on the Mark Arum Show. So much more to come on the broadcast right after the news at 10. We're going to talk to military analyst Colonel Jeff McCausland, get his take on the controversial double-tap narco boat strike in the Caribbean. We're going to talk to Hannah Brandt from News Nation following him. And Scott Slade's going to join us at 10:35 in depth on drones and what you need to know. If you are planning on giving a drone for a gift or receiving a drone for a gift, you just apparently, Deborah, can't just take it out of the box and send it up. There's actually rules and regulations to dronage. I just made that word up. So Scott Slade is going to join us at 10:35. Some breaking news here on the Mark Arum Show.
Where is Hector?
Here on your home of the Georgia Bulldogs, it takes a lot of convincing me to get a former Auburn football player to join us live on your home of the Georgia Bulldogs. But that's how impressed I am with our next guest, author Ace Atkins, joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. Ace, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Hey, thanks, Mark. Good to be on here.
Are you okay being on the home of the Georgia Bulldogs as a former Auburn football player?
I think I think that the way that our season's gone this year, I have no shame.
Understood. So I'm holding up your latest novel on the WSB live stream right now. Thanks for sending me a copy, by the way. This hits close to home to me. It's called Everyone Wants to Rule the World. First, I love the genre, and I love the time frame, the era as an 80s kid. This takes me back to my childhood. Tell the folks listening about Everyone Wants to Rule the World.
Well, it's very specific for your audience, too, Mark, because it's all set not only in 1985, but 1985 Atlanta. So in the 80s, the mid-80s, I lived in Atlanta. I lived in the outlying suburbs, but I spent a lot of time in the city and that kind of stuff. And so I really missed that period of time. I miss, the old Fulton County Stadium and going down to the Omni for shows and all that kind of stuff. And so I wanted to recreate what it was like to be a kid. And of course, in the 80s, we all went to all the shopping malls in Atlanta, to Lenox Square and Cumberland Mall and all that stuff. And so I decided to wrap my 80s experiences around a spy novel. And the idea was that there were Soviet agents that were actually working in Atlanta at that time, because of course we have Lockheed Martin, we've got, Dobbins Air Force Base, you got defense contractors. And so I later found out that there were Soviet agents in the 80s that were working in Atlanta, that were spying on Americans. And so all of this kind of came about, both truth and fictional, into the novel Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
I absolutely love that. Listeners of the show know I love the spy genre, and the 80s just brings all of my favorite things together. But I think we're similar age. You might be a little younger than me. How did you remember? I can barely remember stuff from 2 weeks ago. How can you remember the taste and the feel of Atlanta in 1985?
I think there's those times in your life that are really just hardwired to your brain. And, I'm the same way. I can barely remember 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or something happened back in college. But, I was 14, 15 years old in 1985. And it was a big year. It was a big year for a kid. It's when Back to the Future came out. Goonies was out. Live Aid was happening on MTV. Prince had just come to the Omni. I mean, you go to shows down at Fox Theater. So I remember all that stuff. I remember like it was yesterday. And so I think that's what was important to me about putting this down into a story. And the whole idea is that there's a kid in Atlanta, lives out in the suburbs, like a place like Cobb County, and he thinks his mom is dating a guy who's a KGB assassin. And people think he's paranoid, and nobody believes him. No one will even pay him any attention. And then that starts off a big adventure that mainly happens in suburban Atlanta.
From the idea to the pitch, did you write the book or pitch the book to your publisher first? What's the timeline on that?
Well, I joke that this book is 40 years in the making because took place exactly 40 years ago, because there's certain milestones that happen as far as what's happening in 1985. And so I really wanted this book to come out, this year. It was important for it to come out 2025 for me. But it was something that I pitched to my editor at HarperCollins. And thankfully, she let me do it. It's kind of a crazy idea, where you've got the center of it as a, 14-year-old kid who's, paranoid about his mom is dating this KGB agent. And then I've got this guy who is a former pulp writer. His name's Dennis Hotchner, that's working at the old Oxford 2 bookstore. And this kid believes that he's the only guy that can really help him and has knowledge of Soviet spies. But of course, he's just kind of full of it. He writes these articles about the Soviets, but he has no idea what he's talking about. There's a drag performer named Jackie Demure who used to be an Atlanta Falcon and has become kind of Hotch's sidekick towards this. There's a Russian spy that has defected to come to America, which is based on a true story. So a lot of fun stuff. It's hopefully a fun book to read.
And if I may, timing wise, the launch of the final season of Stranger Things, which has brought that 80s nostalgia, back to the forefront. Final quick question. I as I'm reading the book, and full disclosure, I haven't finished it yet, Ace, but I'm reading this book, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a hell of a movie or a miniseries. Is that possible that you can, spin this into something on TV or on the big screen?
Well, I hope so. I had one of my books was made into a movie called Spencer Confidential on Netflix. My last novel called Don't Let the Devil Ride, which is a crime novel set in Memphis. It is in development right now with a studio, and I've got a terrific, hopefully get some big names attached to that very soon. And so I'm hoping this would be a film or at least a limited series. And you mentioned Stranger Things, and it's so funny to watch that show because everybody in Atlanta knows that it's shot in Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's what my childhood looked like. When you watch Stranger Things, when I was growing up in Cobb County, even like with the old scenes at the Gwinnett Mall, that was it.
Yeah,
that was exactly what it was like.
Prepubescent Ace Atkins, now an accomplished author. The book, Everyone Wants to Rule the World. Fantastic. Ace, thanks for your time. News, weather, and traffic in 2 on 95.5 WSB.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Our website has always been ngwindows.com, and now our company name is the same. It's Ted and Jonathan, and North Georgia Replacement Windows is now NG Windows.
Shorter name, same great stress-free experience. Our Infinity by Marvin fiberglass windows are not big and bulky, and now neither is our name.
We love it so much we upgraded our jingle.
Infinity by Marvin from NG Windows, yeah!
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
This is Greg Trzynski of the Original Mattress Factory. While everyone's focused on diet and exercise this new year, let's talk about the foundation of all health, sleep. Quality sleep strengthens your immune system, improves mental clarity, and helps regulate weight. Yet, we spend more time researching a TV purchase than our mattress. Your sleep affects every resolution you make this year. Visit the Original Mattress Factory and discover how the right mattress can support every health goal you've set for yourself.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Good morning. It is 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by TE Certified Electrical, Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We have an update on the search for an escaped inmate out of Rockdale County. That search is now in day 2, and his trail has led authorities from Grady Hospital to Henry County.
The last known whereabouts of 52-year-old Timothy Shane, a Publix parking lot on Highway 155 in Henry County. From there, investigators say he requested an Uber to a house in Rockdale County, but he was not located during a search of that property. Shane got to Henry County in a car stolen from downtown Atlanta, the second vehicle he is known to have used since fleeing a mental health check at Grady Hospital. He is believed to have stolen a gun from the first vehicle he took, so he is considered armed and dangerous. The 5'9" white male was last seen on video in dark pants and a red hoodie. If you spot him, call 911. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
All right, so the rain is moving out, cloudy and breezy throughout the day. Afternoon highs around 48, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. And just how windy? She says some of those winds out of the northwest could be gusting up to 20 miles an hour. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast coming up in about 2 minutes. The man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson back in court today. Luigi Mangioni's lawyers asking a judge to exclude some evidence from his upcoming state trial, including his notebook, which prosecutors believe reveals a motive. Mangioni has pleaded not guilty. Jerika Duncan is covering the story.
Investigators say they discovered a notebook and 9mm handgun in Mangioni's backpack, key evidence his defense team is asking the court to suppress. They argue police did not have a search warrant and failed to read Mangioni his Miranda rights.
And a trial date has still not been set. This is new this morning. We've just gotten new data that shows that we were spending here in Atlanta on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Block, a global technology company that includes Square, Cash App, and Afterpay, finds an increase in buying.
So in Atlanta specifically, we saw that in-store and online sales grew 4% and 13% respectively.
That is Block's Allison Meyer. She says over the weekend, $57 million in total spending was done through Block services in Atlanta, and most of it in Midtown Atlanta. She says more people were using the Afterpay option, but which is the buy now and pay later. Atlanta ranking among the most sinful cities in the nation, coming in at number 5. That according to WalletHub. As you may have guessed, Las Vegas comes in at number 1, followed by New Orleans, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and then Atlanta. WalletHub ranking nearly 200 American cities for sinfulness. It was based on 7 key dimensions, including anger, hatred, jealousy, excesses, vices, greed, lust, vanity, and laziness, to determine which cities are the most sinful and which are the least. So Columbia, Maryland, by the way, is the least sinful city in America, according to WalletHub. It is Giving Tuesday, a day that you are encouraged to give to your favorite charity, but federal officials warn it's also a day for scammers to take advantage of those trying to donate. Elizabeth Schulze has more.
The Federal Trade Commission is now warning about Giving Tuesday scams, where scammers convince you to donate to a fake charity, then take your money. So before you make a donation, first confirm that the charity is legitimate. The FTC says that you can go to websites like give.org or CharityWatch.org, search the name of an organization there, and check that it's accredited.
And also remember, you want to pay close attention to how a charity is asking you to pay. The safest way is to donate on your credit card. All right, let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 140 at 47,429. NASDAQ also in positive territory, up almost a full percent. The S&P's up almost 0.5%. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca is in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Good morning, Sabrina. Hero out with trouble is a stalled car in the center lane, 285 west at Buford Highway, so be very careful there traveling over from I-85. And some slow traffic, and we found the cause. It's a crash involving a bus. Right lane blocked, I-20 westbound just past Wesley Chapel Road, and still on and off the brakes on the downtown connector. Still crowded as you head north up to I-20. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies, breezy and chilly today, high 48. Clearing out for tonight, lows dropping to the low 30s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, high 51. Mostly cloudy on Thursday, high 49.
It is 43 degrees in Monroe and Alpharetta. In Buckhead, you have 44 degrees right now. We'll have more news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Tuesday morning to you. Mark Aram here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Aram Show live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. Core 4 with us today. Deborah, executive producer of the program. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny Drip screens your calls. Coming up in 30 minutes, Scott Slade's going to join us in depth on what you need to know about drones, those personal aircraft that are filling our skies. Deborah's got tickets to give away in the 11 o'clock hour to see the Atlanta Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Your chance to win those amazing tickets coming up after the news at 11:35. In the meantime, in between time, continue our team coverage of the controversial narco boat strike, the double tap that now we have confirmed occurred in the Caribbean on September 2nd. Joining us live to offer clarity, hopefully, to the situation, CBS News military analyst Colonel Jeff McCausland. Colonel, good morning, sir. As always, thanks for your time.
Good morning to you, Mark, and it's going to be difficult to provide clarity for what is a very confusing story at the moment.
Yeah, it's changed leaps and bounds in the last 24 hours. Yesterday morning on the show, we heard from Pete Hegseth saying this was a fake news story from the Washington Post. And then the press secretary, Karen Leavitt, said yesterday in the press briefing, yeah, that double tap did in fact happen. But apparently they're pointing the finger at Admiral Frank Bradley, not the Secretary of Defense. What do you think about the abrupt turn of procedure there from the administration?
Well, one could be interpreted that they're throwing Baker under the bus, but it's been doubly confusing by the fact that Mr. Trump said he didn't know anything about it, and now they say he did know about it. But basically, it seems that the authorization for a legal strike and that HEDSEC had directed that everyone, in fact, be killed on the boat was the beginning of all this. Then when they detected there were a couple of survivors, the second strike went in. That has now been admitted. But where the nuance is, was that second strike then directly ordered by Admiral Baker, who is the operational commander of Central Operations Command, or was it verbally directed by the Secretary of Defense? Oh, by the way, Mr. Hegseth has also said that he was monitoring this particular attack going on a live video stream in the Pentagon. Either way you look at it, it would seem to me there is real possibility of, frankly, a violation of international law or even war crimes, because the direction of just killing anybody, whether they're surviving, defenseless or not, certainly isn't a violation of those laws.
That's where the confusion sets in for me, because, if it's a war crime, we need to be in a war. Are we officially in a war with these narco outfits?
Well, that's exactly the point, and that has been the beginning of all this, because a lot of people, you and me included, have questioned whether or not we're at war. The administration has said they're so-called narco terrorists or enemy combatants threatening the United States, whereas in past, and we were involved in a war on drugs involving the Caribbean for about 5 decades, we treated them as criminals. And I've talked to Coast Guard officers who for years have been intercepting these small boats coming across the Caribbean, and they told me about 1 out of every 5 times they would uncover the fact that there was no narcotics aboard the vessel. And furthermore, they said they thought intercepting the boats was appropriate because it was criminal activity. These groups are not trying to take down or destroy the United States. In fact, they want us to economically prosper because they want to sell more drugs, unlike Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and other groups who, in fact, actually dream of bringing down and destroying the United States. They are terrorists because their policy objective is the destruction of the nation. Narco-terrorists are not that particular case. And that has been the controversy. The administration has said they have a legal finding that authorizes these lethal attacks to occur, but they have not released it to anybody, including even Congress, in terms of seeking perhaps some kind of authorization by Congress to conduct military operations. And now we've moved beyond that to expanding, of course, the size of the number of vessels in the area to about 10% of our Navy. And the president actually has ordered that basically an air blockade of Venezuela in the last couple of days.
Yeah, no-fly zone. Colonel, let me ask you this. The alleged initial order from Secretary Hegseth is, kill everyone on board this narco boat. Is that common? Is that a common order coming from the defense secretary? Like, strike this, take everyone out?
No, that would not be. And you can talk to, pilots who are involved in these operations because, the idea of killing everyone is if they pose a threat to you. Well, obviously, these particular boats do not pose a direct threat to those particular pilots unless they're outfitted with air defense weapons, which is almost impossible to, in fact, believe. Order to destroy the boat, perhaps if it was, in fact, an enemy combatant and there had been a legal finding to substantiate that, that could be considered appropriate. Just like when I was a commander, I was just ordered during the war that I was involved in to destroy enemy troop locations, and we would hit them with artillery. But I never received or would issue an order that said, and oh, by the way, kill everybody at that site, because after the attack is over, there's post-strike assessment, and if, in fact, you determine there's still combatants there, they are still resisting, or if you appear to do so, you might call for a second strike. If, in fact, the target has been destroyed largely, people are fleeing, therefore posing no direct to your particular operations, you would not conduct a second strike, because you're basically just killing them. You're murdering them.
Colonel, the White House is saying that that Admiral Bradley ordered that deadly second boat strike. Do you think that's plausible, that it would have been the Admiral's decision to make that second strike?
That is possible. That's why an investigation is required, because he would be the overall operational commander. But the problem is, I think, it seems to me we have sort of back to this controversy with the 6 Democrats who did the video about following a legal order. It would seem to me, on investigation, if the Secretary of Defense put out an order that said, conduct a strike and kill everybody, that's an illegal order, because you're killing people whether they survive the initial strike, whether they're defenseless or not, whether they're women and children interspersed with those people aboard that particular craft. And we did a lot of not striking targets all across Afghanistan and Iraq because we found that they were too close to civilians. And then secondly, of course, then when the first strike went down, Admiral Baker, possibly as operational commander, issued the second strike, consistent with my overall guidance from the Secretary of Defense, we not kill everyone, so I'm ordering a second strike. That would be a second, to me, violation of the international laws of warfare. But in either case, I would argue there is a case to be made that both could be held accountable. Hegseth as the senior for issuing an illegal order, and Baker as the junior, the subordinate, following an illegal order.
Final quick question for you, Colonel. Obviously, congressional leaders looking into this. Will the military launch their own investigation into this? Could we see I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like a court-martial kind of situation where the military does their own separate investigation?
Well, it could be possible, but of course that's awkward because it involves the Secretary of Defense, who's overseeing the Pentagon. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, perhaps in his capacity, could conduct an investigation, particularly the actions of Admiral Baker, who is subject to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. And if there was some legal action that was considered against Baker, it would seem to me that would be appropriately conducted by the military under the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Colonel Jeff McCausland. Colonel, as always, appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you.
There you go. Let's continue our team coverage of the story that seems to be picking up steam, that suspected double tap narco boat attack back on September 2nd. Covering the story for News Nation. Joining us live on the Mark Arum Show, it's Hannah Brandt. Hannah, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm a little confused. Day to day, this story seems to be changing. The line from the White House seems to be changing. We just heard the military angle on what allegedly went down on September 2nd. Politically, what's going on with the administration and on Capitol Hill with this story?
Yeah, you're right. We're kind of getting new details day by day. And yesterday, there was a briefing from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt where she confirmed there was a second strike during that first known boat strike on September 2nd. But they dispute that Washington Post reporting that kind of started all of this controversy that said that Secretary Hegseth gave an order to kill everyone. The White House says that's not the case. Instead, they're sort of making the argument that these strikes were all conducted lawfully.
Would there be any record, oral or printed or digital, to either confirm or deny what the exact order from the secretary was?
Well, that's certainly one of the questions. There's supposedly some audio and video that they have of these strikes, right? And we've seen them put out parts of the video of the strikes. And so that's something we've seen publicly, but we know we're not getting, the entire videos necessarily. That's something that lawmakers are asking for as part of their investigations into it. And they're hoping to get kind of all of those details that the military and the Trump administration might have on these strikes.
What's the latest on that side of the story on Capitol Hill? I know there was bipartisan senators talking about this yesterday. Is this something that actually could move forward, a congressional investigation into this?
Definitely. We're seeing both in the House and the Senate, and something supported by both parties, is that these armed services committees are launching investigations, trying to get more details. We know that the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Dan Kane, had conversations with leaders of both parties. Basically, he's saying from the perspective of the Trump administration that these missions were legal, trying to explain that to lawmakers. Secretary Hegseth, we're told, has also been having conversations with lawmakers. But even following those conversations, we've heard people in Congress and notably some Republican lawmakers saying they have some serious concerns. They're basically warning that if the reporting from the Washington Post is true, then that order to kill these survivors on these boat strikes would be a war crime. So we're seeing lawmakers take this very seriously, some actually calling for Hegseth himself to testify publicly, others saying they want to hear as well from the military leaders, potentially in public testimony as well. So we'll see if that happens. We have yet to see any of those sort of hearings announced yet, but it's certainly something lawmakers are asking for.
With this controversy, more broadly, Hannah, obviously we've seen the administration, Secretary Hegseth, the president, have grand ambitions on this battle against the narco conglomerates, the cartels, if you will, and perhaps even, some sort of land incursion in Venezuela. We've got the flight restrictions. Could this stumble or at least slow down the administration's plans on what they wanted to do in the Caribbean?
Well, so far they're indicating that it won't, right? Time after time, they've come up against criticism about how they're conducting these strikes on these alleged drug boats, and they have not backed down. They've doubled down. They say what we're doing falls in line with international law. We're going after these narco terrorists in accordance with law and in accordance with the promises that President Trump made, saying that he would go after drugs and drug traffickers. So the administration, really, they're publicly messaging that they're going to continue these strikes. And President Trump is set to hold a cabinet meeting here in just about an hour. We're expecting Secretary Hegseth to be there. This will definitely be something that comes up in questioning. So we'll see if he gives an update on kind of where things are heading, because he did hold a meeting with his national security team last night to talk about the potential next steps they could take in Venezuela. Now, the White House has been a bit careful to basically say all options are still on the table. They're not committing to any specific action one way or the other, but it's certainly something that they're talking about and considering.
What time, if you don't mind me asking, Hannah, is that cabinet meeting set to take off?
11:30 Eastern time. Now, often things run a little bit late over here, so we don't know exactly when that'll happen, but in just about an hour, that's set to start.
All right, we'll be monitoring. Hopefully we can get a little bit in before we get off the air at noon. Hannah Brandt, News Nation. Great stuff, Hannah. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Getting some more information, by the way, of Admiral Frank Bradley, who now the White House says ordered that second deadly strike. He is a commander of the United States Special Operations Command, has commanded at all levels of special operations, has multiple tours in command of Joint Task Force, and was among the first to deploy in Afghanistan following September 11th. A little background on Admiral Frank M. Bradley, whose name I had never heard before yesterday. Speaking of yesterday, Deborah, you might remember I said when I was confused because Pete Hegseth was taking to social media saying this is a fake news story. The Washington Post doesn't know what they're talking about. And I said, well, why wouldn't he, obviously it turned out this is a story. It is a thing. And he would have known that 24 hours ago. And I said, why doesn't he just say, yeah, I gave the command, but I didn't authorize the double tap, which is basically what they're saying now. Like, why, with the smoke show yesterday saying the whole story was fake, when he could have, if he'd listened to me yesterday and said, oh, yeah, I ordered the initial strike, but I didn't tell him to do the double tap and kill the two people, stranded in the water on the boat. I should have Susie Wiles' job, chief of staff. Do I need a platform for chief of staff?
A separate one?
A separate one?
Yeah, probably.
All right, we'll work on that. Anyway, so hopefully that cabinet meeting, that'll be interesting to see if Secretary Hegseth is sitting next to President Trump, and if they talk about what's been going on in the story in the last 24 hours. Hopefully, we'll squeeze it in before the end of the Mark Arum Show. But the news team certainly will follow that. All right, let's check the ride. A little late, 10:20. The incomparable Ashley Frasca.
Still looking at a crash involving a small bus on the East Freeway, I-20 westbound, just past Wesley Chapel Road. Right lane blocked there, so you're already on the brakes back up Panola Road, and still a slow ride through downtown, headed 75-85 north up from University Avenue. Traffic brought to you by Macy's Backstage. It's a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find so many holiday essentials, all for less than $25. Don't wait. Find a location at macy'sbackstage.com. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
Clark Howard here. And each year we set a goal to provide gifts for every child in foster care across the state of Georgia. And we can't do it without you. Join me at 3 different Walmarts across Metro Atlanta, December 7th, 13th, and 14th for our 35th annual Clark's Christmas Kids. Help make Georgia foster kids' Christmas wishes come true. For more information about how you can donate and for Walmart store locations, visit WSBradio.com.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Rufus. What the? Dave Baker here. Findlay Roofing, the Roof guys, and Rufus are proud to support Clark's Christmas Kids again this year. Findlay will donate $100 from every roof replacement between now and December 14th. They're committed to donate at least $15,000 to Clark's Christmas Kids. Santa is so proud, and Rufus is proud too. Schedule your free roof analysis at FindlayRoofing.com.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. What you have planned this weekend? How about visiting the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market in Cumming, Friday through Sunday this weekend? Grab your spouse or your friends and go on a treasure hunt with over 500 booths. Everything you can imagine, from jewelry, collectibles, sports memorabilia, antiques, furniture, handcrafts, and toys. Every aisle and row is a different adventure. Come on out this weekend to the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market, 1321 Atlanta Highway in Cumming. Visit LakewoodAntiques.com.
Hey folks, it's Scott Slade with another great tip from my friends at Myland, Atlanta's local experts for home loans. So many people have credit card balances they don't pay off every month, which makes holidays more stressful than they could be or should be. The guys at Myland say a great product to use to reduce the amount you pay is a home equity line of credit, or HELOC. This allows you to use the equity in your home to pay off high-interest credit card debt without touching your first mortgage. HELOCs are typically easier and faster to close than a full mortgage, so you can expect to get cash much faster. Whether you want to pay off debts or handle large expenses, HELOCs can be a great tool to use. To find out if one is right for you, call Myland at 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online at myland.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. And please tell them I sent you. NMLS and Georgia Residential Mortgage Licensee 148769, located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
It's the end of the year. Time to look back and reflect. Look at all we did. But look at all the things we meant to do, but never actually did. After all those tipsy New Year's promises, you didn't join the gym. You didn't get around to reading War and Peace. And apparently, you didn't do anything about this garage door that's still not working right. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A quick repair will get your garage door back in shape, no matter how much you eat. No crazy diets, just a smooth, quiet door going up and down like it should. And after all of your friends have bailed on their gym memberships, you'll have a garage door that works like a charm for several New Years to come. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and I'll throw in my copy of War and Peace. I mean, who am I kidding?
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Picture it, your holiday table.
the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You can save big on fresh Heritage Farm boneless chicken breasts. They're on sale now for only $1.99 a pound with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Whether it's a walk-in closet, master closet, or pantry, unlock the true potential of your storage areas in time for the holidays. Schedule your free design consultation today at artisancustomclosets.com and reward yourself with affordable luxury this holiday season.
Will my hair really grow back? Will you stay with me tonight, Mommy?
By giving today, you can help our kids get the care and treatment they need. Give to Children's for that. Donate today at choa.org/give.
Hey, it's Smilin' Mark McKay, and I'm so excited to be part of the 35th year of Clark's Christmas Kids. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk, and Scana Energy invite you to join us in making sure every child in Georgia gets a visit from Santa. This year, we encourage you to join Scana Energy employees by shopping on-site at any of the 3 Walmart locations for those who would like to shop in person. Or shop virtually. Either way, you'll be able to see the child that you're shopping for and what that child really wants from Santa. Join Clark, WSB Radio, and Scana Energy so that every child receives a gift this holiday. We really need you to help provide gifts for the thousands of kids in the Georgia foster care system. A special thanks to Scana Energy for years of partnership with Clark's Christmas Kids. For the 3 Walmart locations, dates, and times, or to shop online, visit clarkschristmaskids.com. That's clarkschristmaskids.com.
Happy 34th birthday, Charlie Puth. Here's his single, We Don't Talk Anymore, with Selena Gomez. Just to show you how far out of it I am. Charlie Puth. He's 34 today, and he's just been tabbed for a pretty high-profile gig, Deborah.
Yeah, Charlie Puth will be singing the national anthem at the Super Bowl next February.
Should I know that, who he is?
I mean, we play him on our sister station, but I don't know that that's the stuff you're listening to.
All right. By the way, it's Selena Gomez. Why isn't it Selena Gomez?
It is Selena, but
Okay,
it's
it is.
anglicized to
All right.
Selena.
All right. Happy birthday, Charlie Puth. Sabrina has your news, weather, and traffic in 3 minutes. When we come back, Scott Slade's going to join us live. Social media is up and active throughout the broadcast at Mark Airman at WSB Radio.
There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found. For when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around. The Frosty the Snowman.
This is Scott Slade from iRoofer, FGA Roofing. Are you starting to consider a new roof but not sure if it's needed or what it might cost? FGA Roofing offers their free drone assessment. You'll know if it just needs a fix, a rejuvenation, or a new roof. They'll quote you a price, and if you mention you heard about it on the radio, they'll take $1,500 off the quote, and that quote's good for a year. And with your good credit, you can take advantage of their 000 offer. 0 down payment, 0 payments for 18 months, and 0 interest. Take the first step now and set up an appointment. Google FGAroofing.com.
Castile Plumbing and Electrical knows that if your old water heater conks out from Aunt Gail's 2-hour showers this holiday season, or your decorations keep tripping the breakers, well, then everything falls apart. That's why you can count on Castile for 0% interest financing on installs, plus a plumbing or electrical inspection for just $99, so we can address any clogs or hums ahead of time. And as always, we're here to help with same-day emergency service, even on holidays. Book today at CastileAir.com.
The garage door springs that come standard with most homes don't last. And when they fail, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello at A1 Garage Door Service. Our springs are the toughest in the industry, backed by our lifetime warranty. That's right, fix them once and you're covered for life. Don't risk your family's safety or your peace of mind. Let A1 replace your springs before they become a problem. From repairs to upgrades, it's A1 from day one.
A1 from day one.
Spend your time with those who matter most this holiday season and sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
My wake-up call came during the holidays 3 years ago. Like many of you out there will be doing this time of year, I was savoring all the holiday stuff with my parents. It's Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. I remember we were preparing a holiday meal and I saw my dad really struggling with a boiling pot on the stove. It was that moment that I knew I had to explore home care options for my folks. This holiday season, as you enjoy precious time with your aging parents, you too might notice some small signs as they struggle with day-to-day tasks. A little more forgetful, having trouble remembering to take their meds. If your aging parents are clear that they want to age in place in the comfort of their homes, please Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta and request a call. It's 100% free, and it's a crucial step in getting your parents what they need for their care, allowing you, their child, to do your role and just love them. Google Four Seasons Home Care.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by your Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. Our top story, an urgent manhunt underway now in day 2. They're looking for an escaped inmate who's considered armed and dangerous. The last known whereabouts of 52-year-old Timothy Shane was a Publix parking lot on Highway 155 in Henry County. And from there, investigators say he requested an Uber to a house in Rockdale County. Now, they searched that house, but they did not find him on that property. Shane got to Henry County in a car which was stolen from downtown Atlanta. The second vehicle he was used since fleeing a mental health check at Grady Hospital. He's believed to have stolen a gun from that first vehicle that he took. He's described as a white man about 5'9", last seen on video in dark pants and a red hoodie. You can take a look, WSBRadio.com. All right, your weather for today. The rain we had this morning moving out, cloudy, breezy throughout the day, highs 48. Some of those winds gusting up to 20 miles an hour, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Well, Governor Kemp and other Georgia officials are on their way to the Panama Canal for an economic mission.
The governor's joined by First Lady Marty Kemp and representatives from the Georgia Ports Authority and State Department of Economic Development. They'll be focusing on logistics infrastructure and supply chain operations at the canal, which Governor Kemp says is vital for many of Georgia's top business partners. It has direct shipping routes to the ports of Savannah and Brunswick. The governor says learning more about the canal will help Georgia as investments continue at the state's coastal ports. The ports support over 650,000 jobs across Georgia. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
Russian President Vladimir Putin is meeting with the U.S. delegation at the Kremlin today as talks to end the war in Ukraine continue. Keir Simmons has more.
Ahead of the meeting, the Kremlin releasing footage of Putin in military uniform being briefed on the war. Appearing emotional over the, quote, slaughter of Ukrainian soldiers by his own Russian troops, but blaming Kyiv for the deaths.
Now, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's advisor and son-in-law Jared Kushner are taking part in today's talks. The effort to resolve the conflict comes as Ukrainian President Zelensky continues to maintain that important issues still need to be ironed out. New developments in the deadly U.S. airstrikes on an alleged drug boat in the Caribbean. The White House at first denied that there was a follow-up attack that killed 2 survivors of the first strike. Lawmakers in both parties want answers as to exactly what happened. President Trump reportedly had a call with the Venezuelan president. The Miami Herald reports that Maduro told Trump that he was willing to leave the country in exchange for full legal amnesty, among other demands. The president rejecting his offer, reportedly. The World Health Organization now recommends GLP-1 drugs like Zepbound and Wegovy should be used as a tool to manage obesity. The new guidelines are in the medical journal JAMA. The WHO saying obesity should be viewed as a complex, preventable, and treatable chronic disease. And in the world of fashion, Prada has bought Versace for almost $1.4 billion.
It'll put the fashion company known for its sexy silhouettes under the same roof as Prada's ugly chic aesthetic. The deal is expected to boost Versace's fortunes, allowing parent Capri Holdings to pay down post-pandemic debt.
And Deborah Rodriguez says the acquisition has received all regulatory clearances. Let's take a look at the markets. We're in the green. The Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P all in positive territory. Now, Ashley Frasca is joining us from the WSB 24-hour Traffic Center with a look at your roads.
Crash lingering in the right lane. I-20 westbound just past Wesley Chapel. No help with it yet. So now you're starting to ride the brakes in from Panola Road. You can certainly use Covington Highway, join 285 to avoid those backups. And still just on and off the brakes trying to get out of Duluth this morning into Norcross along 85 South. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy, breezy, drizzly today with a high of 48. Will dry out for tonight, lows dipping down to near freezing. Tomorrow, a little bit more sunshine with a high of 51, becoming mostly cloudy again on Thursday, high 49.
It is 44 degrees in Johns Creek and Covington. Marietta, you have 45 degrees under cloudy skies. And we'll have more news at 11 o'clock, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The FAA says the flight crew was reporting possible smoke in the flight deck.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
Beef prices are going up.
Your 24/7 news source.
They had no ties to a gang, but they were killed by
when
them.
you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
A couple of leads that we're working on, some leads that have not really panned out.
Still to come, the ongoing search for the Rockdale County inmate who escaped custody in downtown Atlanta. But next, Scott Slade joins us 2 minutes away on The Mark Arum Show.
Been wanting a new deck for your home, something that's built just the way you want it, but you're scared to pull the trigger? I can help you with that. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. Right now, Ben Hill Renovations are offering special financing. No interest if you pay in full within the 18 months promo period. You're welcome. Visit bhrenovations.com today and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
The Original Mattress Factory wants to help elevate your sleep experience this holiday season. We'll be giving away a queen-size adjustable bed set in our Comfort and Joy raffle. When paired with our hand-built mattresses, our premium adjustable beds make everyday activities like reading and watching TV in bed more comfortable. Visit any OMF location by December 18th to enter and for all official rules. No purchase is necessary to win. The Original Mattress Factory, bringing you tidings of comfort and joy this holiday season.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers with my dad, Mike. And Dad, how do you know you've got the right gift before you give it?
You get it at D. Geller & Son. We've been helping Atlanta get it right since 1939 with real jewelry experts to walk you through Atlanta's best selection.
Whether it's silver and diamond stocking stuffers for $95, diamond hoops for $13.95, or one-of-a-kind showstoppers.
For the best selection, best quality, and best value.
Trust D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Switch your termite protection to Breda, and your rate is locked in for 10 years. And Breda is proud to sponsor Scott Slade's Georgia every Thursday on Atlanta's Morning News.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I'm so excited to hear my son's band play tonight. They've been, be right back. They've been rehearsing, bathroom break. Overactive bladder can mean missing out on life's moments, navigating life around the nearest bathroom instead of the next experience. Medtronic therapies have treated nearly 500,000 people worldwide with bladder or bowel control problems. Let Medtronic show you what's possible. Visit medtronic.com/bladderhelp to learn how.
Well done, Longoria. Not my favorite Christmas song of all time, but you're getting closer. Who sings this, by the way? You know, the Longoria.
I don't think it's. I think it's generic.
The Longoria sisters. Oh my goodness! I will, with Vinny's help, I'll fund it. Vinny will produce it. A Longoria daughter Christmas album.
Heck yeah!
Let's do it. Deborah, you down? You've written lyrics
I'm not
before.
a Longoria daughter.
No, but it'll be a teen collaborate, a collab, as the kids say.
Aren't they just going to cover Christmas songs?
Well, we'll do mostly covers. And we'll do one original. You and I will bang out the lyrics.
Okay.
You wrote the lyrics for the Longoria song.
Okay, yeah.
We can make that into a Christmas song. Anyway, welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Speaking of Christmas, coming up in 1 hour, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra. We're following the escaped Rockdale inmate. That's a big local story, and I still want to get you caught up to date on the latest on the Russia-Ukraine talks. But joining us, as he does every Tuesday at this time, our good friend Scott Slade. Scott, good morning and belated happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
And the same to you. I hope all the turkey sandwiches went down well.
Everything went down well, buddy.
Great. Hey, Mark, I really enjoyed hearing you and Clark Howard talking about Clark's Christmas Kids campaign that's underway. Did I hear this right? That the need is even greater this year? What, another 2,000 foster kids will help?
Yeah, sadly, and it's, yearly we see this go up. But yeah, I think Clark said about 2,000 more kids that will need to get Christmas gifts from the listeners of WSB Radio through Clark's Christmas Kids this year.
Yeah, and it's easy to participate at WSBradio.com or stop by one of the remote broadcasts coming up this weekend and next. I know you're going to be at a couple of them, Mark. I'll be joining Clark and the gang at the Pleasant Hill Walmart on Saturday, December 13th during Green and Growing and the Home Fix-It Show. So this is always a great thing. It's one of the warmest, cuddly things we do all year. And, while we're talking about holiday gifts here, you know what I'm thinking about this year for the first time ever?
Oh,
asking Santa for a drone.
A drone. So that was not, but I would have guessed a vinyl turntable so you can start playing your vinyl records again.
That is the category I'm already exploring. I love jazz on vinyl. I just love it. But I've been a pilot for years, but I've never owned or flown a drone. And I've done some homework on this. If you're thinking about a drone in your family, especially for a gift this year, they're as cheap as $40 on Amazon. They can come with all kinds of features like video and apps like navigation and auto return. But one thing they have in common, Mark, flying a drone for fun isn't as simple as unpacking the box and taking off. Now, a list of federal rules require you to take a free safety test and keep proof you passed. Why? Because the moment you take off, you're using the national airspace, and the FAA has a lot to say about that. Now, the FAA has a carve-out for drone operators who are strictly flying for fun. They call it for purely recreational purposes. Would you mind if I ran down a couple of those rules?
Yeah, no, I'm very curious. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah. Now, this list is not meant to be exhaustive or complete. Do your own due diligence, please. But among the things you need to remember, you must keep the drone within your visual line of sight at all times. Use a visual observer. You have to fly at or below 400 feet in uncontrolled airspace. In controlled airspace, you need an authorization from the FAA. And there are actually apps that can show you where you are in the airspace, like FAA Before You Fly. And they can verify where you are to make sure you're in compliance. Never, ever, ever fly near other aircraft. Do not fly over or near emergency response efforts. Avoid flying near national security sensitive facilities like military bases or landmarks like the Statue of Liberty, or over any place that might have a temporary flight restriction like a sporting event. You can only fly for hobby or recreation purposes if you're using this carve-out that the FAA has for recreational use. Like, here's an example. Let's say you're a real estate agent and
yes,
you want to take some pictures of the property.
I've seen that,
You want to list and put those pictures up online. You can't do that unless you are in commercial compliance. That's a whole different set of rules. So keep in mind that even if you aren't being paid, you can't use it for business. It's strictly for fun. So fly for hobby or recreation only. And here's another fun thing. This is part of the responsibility of it. Take the recreational UAS unmanned aircraft system safety test, and you have to carry proof of passage. By the way, I did it, and the course and the test took about a half an hour. So it's pretty basic, but it's got some really good things to follow in there to make sure you're safe and everyone else is safe.
So, Scott,
keep in mind you cannot fly over people. Yeah.
Hypothetically, if Maya gets me a drone for Christmas this year, I can't just unbox it and go out in the backyard. I've got to go through all of these steps in order to be compliant.
I guess if you're just flying around in your backyard less than 10 feet,
Okay.
I think you might be okay, but again, don't hold me to that. But if you're going up in the sky, getting above the trees, that kind of thing, you got to do this. You have to have a current FAA registration and put your drones, put your number on the outside, carry proof of registration when you're flying. And so, like I said, there are several things to keep in mind if you're planning on going drone for the holiday season. Now, there's some FAQs. Can someone fly a drone above your home, and how low can they fly it? Yeah, people can fly drones over your house, but there are limits. A drone can't simply park outside your window and shoot a video the same way people can't walk up your driveway and peek into your home. That would be called trespassing.
Mm-hmm.
And Evan Gorlick, writing for the New York Times, says, if one hovers above your property, can you shoot it down? Well, no. The government considers drones aircraft, which means they have the same legal standing as as any other airplane. Under federal law, damaging, destroying, or disabling aircraft is punishable by up to 20 years in prison. So there's some serious rules for having some good fun with these things. And, I think, Mark, it's an excellent way to discover the joys of flight and teach responsibility, even for young people. Just to make sure you understand the rules and follow them.
I'm excited. I'm glad you're getting into this. I will probably never be a droner. I don't know if that's the proper term. I just don't trust my hand-to-eye coordination, and I could see me flying the drone into trees or buildings and just being wildly unsuccessful. I'm really bad at video games that contain flying or anything like that. So I'm going to leave it to you and your fellow droners. But I think I'm excited for you, buddy. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, thanks. I was fascinated at just what the rules are, and really, it's all meant to be safety first.
There you go. All right. So I will see you in person. I'm assuming you'll be at the Pleasant Hill Walmart for Clark's Christmas Kids.
That's right. On Saturday, December 13th. I sure will.
Excellent. All right. First donut is on me, Scott, at that Clark's Christmas Kids location.
Attaboy. I love that. Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome. And, of course, you can donate now, as Scott mentioned, clarkschristmaskids.com. Scott, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks so much for joining us, buddy.
Mark, it's always mine. Thanks for the time.
As Scott mentioned at the beginning of our discussion, Clark's Christmas Kids, 2,000 additional kids are in foster care this year that are going to need those gifts. Listen, Clark always fulfills the Christmas wish list of all the foster kids in Georgia. But if this number that Deborah's about to provide is true, this is going to be a really tough task. According to Deborah, just Deborah, 8 in 10 Americans are going to borrow money to get through Christmas this year. Is that right? 8 in 10?
That's what this survey says. 8 in 10 Americans plan to borrow money just to get presents this year. About 84% of shoppers say they're going to use a credit card, and the rest are going to use the buy now, pay later apps.
So 8 in 10, let me do the math real quick in my head. That's 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 Americans are going to borrow money to pay for Christmas gifts this year. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but a stoic coworker of ours came in and said, there'll be no further Whataburger Wednesdays through the end of the year because of Christmas gifts.
This does not affect me, Andrew.
Yeah, it doesn't affect Deborah.
Yeah. I don't want to get into your personal finances, but you made that declarative statement. Vinny is very upset.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Alex Williams, I just told him. He's very upset. Are you having to borrow? Did you have to borrow to get
No,
in?
but it's tough.
Yeah,
absolutely. My mom and my grandmother helping out, with certain gifts. I won't name which ones, but with certain ones, we probably would have to scale down on some of the stuff we
absolutely.
buy.
I the same will be in the Aram household.
Yeah.
Maya wants this really nice belt. That's her.
Okay.
And her pitch to me is, well, it's like 2 belts in one because it's reversible.
That's a good point.
Imagine, she's like, the cost is extreme, but it's like getting 2 belts. So dollar cost averaging.
I see what she's talking
the
about.
belt.
I get it.
Yeah. But I even told her, she's like, what do you want? I'm like, give me those earbuds. I'm sick of using the hand-me-down. Oh, by the way, phenomenal thing I just discovered. The greatest, if you have a good relationship with your spouse, I'm assuming you do, Longoria. I just discovered this, Deborah. So on my phone, Maya has earbuds, and she got us both these audio sleep masks that we can wear because she didn't want me watching TV. So now I can put on the sleep mask, and it's Bluetooth, and I can listen to Downton Abbey as I'm going to sleep or whatever. For some reason, her mask pops up on my Bluetooth options.
Anything that's Bluetooth will pop up.
Yes. So she'll be listening to whatever she listens to. She's starting to do some sleep podcast kind of thing, or I don't know, like ambient noise or whatever. And she'll be lying down, resting, beginning to sleep, not like deep sleep. And then I'll just click on her Wi-Fi, her ear speaker mask thing, and I'll click it onto my Wi-Fi, and whatever my phone takes precedence on her phone, whatever, and I'll just start playing a really boring fantasy baseball podcast. And she gets up. She's like, would you stop it? She's like, forget this device. Hit the button that says forget this device. I'm like, I can't. It's too much fun. Anyway, if you have a good relationship, it's a nice prank. If things are on the rocks, I wouldn't do it. But I can't. I'd laugh myself to sleep. Because I'm like, baby, these fantasy baseball podcasts are so boring. They're going to help you
Send
sleep.
her a message and tell her to like put the Sandlot on while you're sleeping.
Oh, well, that's what she said. Yeah. She goes, this road runs both ways, my friend. I could do this too. I'm like, but you're always asleep before I am. She goes, forget this device. Hit the button. I was like, no, I can't do it. It's too much fun. All right, let's check the roads at 10:48 on the Mark Aram Show, live with the latest mishaps and slowdowns, the incomparable Ashley Frasca.
Thank you, Mark. Really good news around Metro Atlanta. Not too many slowdowns. Things are improving on the East Freeway. That crash is cleared. I-20 westbound at Wesley Chapel. A little slow through Vinings. Looking for new trouble maybe in the right lane on 285 north up at Paces Ferry. You stay a little slow to I-75. And a few brake lights on the connector headed 75-85 northbound before and after I-20. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
The way you should live your life is look at the way they're doing it at D.C. and then just run.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
Other people are getting away with it, so you should get away with it.
Eric Von Hessler. Today at 3.
Well, your best day ever would have been a Tuesday. Who knows?
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey, friends, it's Mark Aram back from my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. Check it out. This season, Reliable Heating and Air is giving up to $2,000 cash back when you upgrade to a high-efficiency water heater and whole home water purification system. $2,000. You want to do one or the other? It's $1,000 cash back. Amazing. For my friends at Reliable, book your free consultation by going to reliableair.com. Stay warm, stay hydrated, stay paid with Reliable.
'Tis the season. Have you gotten your flu shot? At All Care, our experienced flu specialists are dedicated to providing comprehensive and personalized care, from vaccines to testing to treatment. And you can walk right in to any of All Care's 15 Atlanta locations and access our unique combination of primary and immediate care under a single roof. For flu season and beyond, say goodbye to waiting for the doctor and say hello to All Care, a proud member of the Piedmont Clinically Integrated Network.
Been wanting a new deck for your home, something that's built just the way you want it, but you're scared to pull the trigger? I can help you with that. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. Right now, Ben Hill Renovations are offering special financing. No interest if you pay in full within the 18 months promo period. You're welcome. Visit bhrenovations.com today and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
However you celebrate the season, Breda Pest Management would like to take this time to celebrate you and thank you for your business. As a local family-owned and operated company, the Breda family appreciates you and yours and wishes you all a very Merry Christmas and a bug and critter-free New Year. Breda Pest Management, they handle bugs and critters. BREDAPest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
You're building a deck or adding a room, that's wonderful. But if you skip hiring an architect trying to save money, well, the builder's going to need drawings anyway. They're going to hire an architect regardless and mark up their fees to you. That's why it's smarter to start your project at Sketchhouse. Hi, I'm Richard Taylor, architect at Sketchhouse. At Sketchhouse, we'll make sure your plans are code and zoning compliant, they'll be creative, and they will look great. You're going to save thousands of dollars with Sketchhouse Architects. We're going to make this easy for you. Go to sketchhouse.com. That's sketch, H-A-U-S, sketchhouse.com.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan today. 404-208-3300. That's 404-208-3300.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Finally, when the cops broke in, he jumped out of a window into the roof of the next building, and he got caught in a crossfire.
32 years ago today, Colombian cartel kingpin Pablo Escobar was killed by forces as he attempted to escape his jungle hideout. That was DEA Special Agent Joe Toft later describing Escobar's final moments. Was that in Narcos? Did we see the final?
Oh yeah, we saw
breath?
that. Yeah, you saw that.
I got to rewatch
yeah.
that. I got to rewatch
just want
that.
another season. There's enough content.
I
Make
know.
another season.
The whole Narco Boats season of Narcos could be. Anyway, welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. Ironic, isn't it ironic that was 32 years ago today? On the stack of stories that Deborah prepared for me today, the death of a fentanyl kingpin. Not a Colombian cartel kingpin, but a fentanyl kingpin.
Yeah, Pedro Insunza Coronel, also known as Pinchon, which means pigeon. He was killed for cocaine trafficking, killed by Mexican military in a raid operation in Sinaloa.
Sinaloa, I know Sinaloa.
That's from Colombia.
Yeah,
That's from.
I just want. I would be able to understand what's going on in the the Caribbean right now. If there was a season of Narcos to go along with it.
Break it down for us. Yeah,
like I want to know. Like Sinaloa, I know from what's this guy? The pigeon? What's his real name?
Pinchon, Pedro Insunza Coronel.
Yeah, like I want to know his backstory. What actor's going to play him? He's now dead. Like
why do they call him a pigeon?
Why is he a pigeon? That was Longoria's fact of the day, by the way. You know,
the pinchon with the definition of pinchon.
It means pigeon in Spanish. I'm Longoria, and that's your fact of the day. But fentanyl's the bad thing, right?
It's the worst now.
That is the worst now. Is fentanyl coming up from Venezuela and Central America? Isn't that more China? I don't know.
Does China ship it to Mexico and then it comes up?
I don't know. I'm not saying give the narco coke dealers a free pass, but shouldn't we be focused on fentanyl? Carolyn Levitt yesterday, commenting in the press briefing, said that the Trump administration has stopped enough fentanyl coming into the country that could kill every single American. And I'm quoting her saying, man, woman, and child in America multiple times over. Like, as bad as cocaine is, and I've heard horror stories, like, cocaine can't kill every man, woman, and child 3 times over like fentanyl can. Right? Shouldn't that be the focus of everything? And maybe it is. I don't know.
You're right. A new season of Narcos would
Yes,
explain everything so much better.
Hollywood.
Come on, Netflix.
What the hell are you doing, man? Come on. Enough of the English baking shows or whatever. Deborah likes the English baking show. I need a new season of Narcos. Get us all caught up to date. It's much easier to follow this than watching the nightly news. I need characters. I need actors. All right, when we come back, really big international story. The U.S. envoy meeting with Russian counterparts trying to end this horrific Russia-Ukraine war. We'll get you caught up to date on that next. It's the Mark Arum Show on 95.5 WSB.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. We are following a developing story, an escaped inmate on the run. He's eluding authorities more than 24 hours after fleeing a mental health evaluation at Grady Hospital. Here's the latest.
2 stolen vehicles and a wardrobe change have allowed 52-year-old Timothy Shane to fly under the radar. He abandoned the second car to Publix in Henry County and then ordered an Uber to a Rockdale County address, but a search there turned up nothing. Shane is considered armed and dangerous after taking a gun out of the first vehicle he stole when he fled Grady dressed only in a hospital gown. The most recent surveillance footage shows him now in dark pants and a red hoodie. He is a 5'9" white male. If you see him, call the Rockdale Sheriff's Office or dial 911. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
All right, so if you ran into some rain on the drive in this morning, it's headed out of the area. Cloudy, breezy throughout the day. Highs around 48. Some of those winds gusting up to 20 miles an hour. We'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast with WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards straight ahead. This is new at 11 o'clock. The Publix grocery store in Atlantic Station will soon be closing its doors. After 20 years in business, the supermarket has been a tenant since the opening of the mixed-use development back in 2005. Store employees were told that the last day of business is going to be December 27th. The company will continue to operate 3 other locations nearby. Atlantic Station officials saying that they are making plans to reimagine the space for new uses. Atlanta Public School students, families, and staff getting a chance tonight to share their vision for the future of teaching and learning in the school system.
APS is hosting its final Forward 2040 Visioning meeting. The session focuses on 4 key academic areas and future programs and student pathways. They include early college, technology, arts, and biomedical and health sciences. APS says families who are not able to attend the meeting in person can share their ideas through the community survey. The school district says ideas from the community will guide the opportunities it creates and the programs it grows for students. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
All right, we have new data this morning from Block. It's a company which offers payment options like Square, Cash App, and Afterpay, and it shows a major jump in local spending. $57 million spent in Atlanta over the long shopping weekend, including Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Atlanta, far beyond all the other cities where we focus on, saw the most sales and the most excitement for our Square sellers.
And Block's Allison Meyer tells me that most people were spending on experiences like beauty and wellness, as well as travel, dining, and home and garden items. Well, your Christmas tree could be causing you to suffer from allergies. Dr. Devin Preston with the Cleveland Clinic recommends people shake and wipe down both live and artificial trees to reduce allergens hiding in those branches.
There's weed pollen, mold,
critters that are in trees. So when you bring that into the home, unless you fully like shake it out, wash it off, clean it, then you have the high potential to release mold and other pollens into your home.
Now, Dr. Preston says running an air purifier near your tree can also help. He recommends that you need to take that tree down right after the season's over because leaving it up longer would give more time for mold to grow. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow right now is up 291 at 47,580. So the Dow's up more than 0.5%. Nasdaq's up more than 1%. And the S&P's also in the green, up more than 0.5% here at 11:03. That means it's time to get a check of the roads. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. Not terrible out on these wet roads, but we did have an earlier crash in DeKalb, 20 westbound between Wesley Chapel and 285. Mostly out of the roadway. Still some brake lights back toward Panola Road, but not terrible there. 285 southbound, the outer loop on the west side, that's also a little sluggish from South Cobb Drive down to I-20, and seeing a few delays, but not terrible either. 75-85 northbound, you're tapping that brake pedal, University Avenue, but improving once you get up to Freedom Parkway. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy skies, breezy and chilly today, high 48. Clearing out for tonight, lows dropping to the low 30s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, high 51. Mostly cloudy on Thursday, high 49.
It is 45 degrees right now in Duluth. Cartersville, you have 46 degrees, and it's cloudy and 45 in Roswell. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I'll run this town to be near you.
11:04 on this extremely busy News Day Tuesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Aram and crew with you till noon. 30 minutes from right now. Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Please, Deborah, we can have tickets all week for the Trans-Siberian.
Yeah, the rest of the week. Yep.
What a phenomenal show. That should be on your Christmas bucket list every year, as should be Clark's Christmas Kids. The 35th annual Clark's Christmas Kids kicking off this December. All the details online at WSBradio.com or ClarksChristmasKids.com. You can donate now. You don't have to wait. We'd love to see you at the Walmarts. Pleasant Hill and Duluth, one in Alpharetta. And the last one where I'll be at is the Marietta near the Big Chicken on Sunday the 14th, I believe. Yes. Best event of the year. Absolutely love it. What are some other must-dos? I had some friends that went to the Botanical Gardens the other day for the Holiday and Lights extravaganza or something.
Yeah, I think people do tree lighting, ice skating, Nutcracker, a Christmas Carol, stuff like that.
Yeah. Is there a Christmas Lego exhibit somewhere in town? Like we can drive by the Longoria's house and there's
you can go by my house and there's a Lego
Is
exhibit.
your tree made of Legos?
No.
Oh.
There, I do have a Lego Christmas tree though in the city.
There you go.
It's about that tall.
That was good for the radio. It's about that tall.
It's about that tall.
Welcome back to the Mark Aram Show. We got a lot of local stories to get you covered today, Don, but I've been talking about this, but not talking about it all morning long. The current status of the meeting between the United States delegation headed by Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. So a real estate lawyer and a real estate investor are our main folks dealing with the ongoing negotiations to end the Russia-Ukraine war. We just heard from Vladimir Zelensky, Ukrainian president.
Taking serious steps to end this war, one way or another, and our task, and I'm sure that this is our common task for everyone in Europe, is to really end this war, the war, not just to get a pause in the fighting. We need a decent, dignified peace, and for that to happen, everyone must be on this side of peace. Everyone in Europe and all nations that value peace.
All right, so Vladimir Zelensky, president of Ukraine this morning. Matthew Chance, CNN's international correspondent in Moscow, covering the story. We're hearing optimism or room for optimism from Russia, from the United States and Ukraine. Is that likely to fly with the Kremlin?
Yeah, well, that's a good question because both the US and the Ukrainians are speaking very positively after the outcome of those intensive negotiations that they had in Geneva last week, in South Florida at the weekend, to try and forge a common position that might be able to get around some of the most difficult obstacles in the US-backed peace plan. Things like NATO membership for Ukraine, which it constitutionally wants to have. Things like the size of the army. the other issues that have been real obstacles, the territorial surrenders as well, the fact that Russia wants Ukraine to give up territory that has been annexed by Moscow but not yet conquered by its military. The big question is, though, will the compromises that have been discussed and talked about between the US and Ukraine be acceptable to the Kremlin? Because even though the Kremlin has welcomed the idea of a US-backed peace effort, they've called it an important initiative, they've made it very clear that unless that initiative delivers to them what they regard to a victory, all of the objectives of the Ukraine war, what they still call here the special military operation, then they're just going to reject it and they're going to proceed with the military campaign on the ground. So it's an important day for US diplomacy. Steve Witkoff, Trump's special envoy, his son-in-law Jared Kushner, they arrived here a couple of hours ago. There are pictures on state television of them sort of taking a stroll through Red Square, looking at a New Year's market before entering the security gates of the Kremlin compound. It's not clear yet whether the meeting has actually started. The Kremlin said it was going to begin around about 5 o'clock. It's now 6:30. President Putin is notoriously late for events like this. And actually, at 6 o'clock, he was still delivering a speech to an international investment forum several miles away from the Kremlin. So we don't know whether the meeting's underway yet. If it's not underway, it will be soon. But we're all watching very closely to see what the outcome is, whether this is, whether the Kremlin sort of comments positively about what's being presented to it today, or whether the U.S. delegation, Witkoff and Kushner, are going to leave empty-handed.
All right, so that's Matthew Chance in Moscow. So we're awaiting that meeting. Putin, that's just a power move to show up late to any negotiation. We can expect that, but we're going to be monitoring that, see if any progress comes from the Witkoff-Kushner side of the negotiating table up against former KGB officer Vladimir Putin. That's one thing we're watching. We're also watching, I think within the next 20 minutes or so, there's going to be a cabinet meeting. President Trump's holding those cabinet meetings. We've covered them through his second term, and we think he'll be seated next to Secretary Pete Hegseth, who obviously has been in the news in the last 24 hours. We'll see if they take any questions on that controversial narco boat attack, the double tap killing of the narco terrorists there. If that happens during the show, we're going to jump into it. I do want to update this one story because I just saw on one of the cable news networks, the Supreme Court is hearing an argument right now. Costco is suing the Trump administration for full tariff refunds. Did you hear about this story, Deborah?
I did not see this
Yeah,
happen.
so Costco and some other companies, Bumblebee Tuna, Kawasaki Motors, Revlon, I guess that's the cosmetic giant. Apparently they're suing President Trump, or I guess not him personally, maybe the administration, I don't know, for, the legality of the tariffs. Michael Wallace from CBS gives us a little bit of a breakdown on this.
In its suit filed at the U.S. Court of International Trade, the retail giant argues President Trump unlawfully used the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to impose his tariffs. Costco is seeking a full refund on all the tariffs it has paid. The Supreme Court is considering whether Trump had the legal authority to impose the tariffs. Dozens of other companies, including Bumblebee and Kawasaki, have also filed lawsuits seeking tariff refunds.
Costco's not said how much it's paid in tariffs, but says 1/3 of its sales are from imported goods. What I don't understand about this, the legality of the tariffs, I mean, who knows? Whatever the Supreme Court decides. But let's say this court, the International Court of Trade, the U.S. Court of International Trade, sides with Costco and Bumblebee and Kawasaki and Revlon and say, yeah, you're right, you should get this money back. Does Costco then reimburse us? Does, Vinny just bought a Kawasaki motorcycle and he paid tariffs on it. Does Kawasaki then cut Vinny a check? No, Deborah says no.
No way, right?
I didn't buy any Revlon. I didn't buy any Kawasaki. I did not go to Costco, but you bet you're damn skippy about Bumblebee Tuna in the last 9 months.
Do you get a coupon, like a rebate coupon?
Wait, do I do Bumblebee? What's the best tuna on the market?
You're asking the wrong person.
What's the best tuna?
Chicken of the Sea,
Yeah,
Charlie
there's Chicken
Tuna.
of the Sea, there's Charlie.
I think
Store brand.
Bumblebee's like the Coke of tuna. Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Bumblebee. And they have BOGOs at Publix. By the way, just got a push alert. The Publix at Atlantic Station is closing. Did not see that coming. That would have impacted my parents when I used to live on the west side, because they would stay at a hotel at Atlantic Station and then go to Publix. And my dad would go to the deli counter, and he'd be like, my son Mark does your commercials, like looking for free food or something. And the deli guy or girl would be like, oh, that's great, man. What do you want, a pub sub? I went to Publix yesterday. I'm not getting paid to say this. And so I have Sanjay's car now, so I'm like a free man. I'm like, oh, I haven't been to Publix in 2 weeks. I haven't had a
going
car.
everywhere.
So I actually wanted to go to Publix to get stovetop stuffing mix because I didn't get enough stuffing Thanksgiving, and brown gravy. And I was like, you know what? I'm hungry. It was after the show yesterday. We didn't eat yesterday in the show.
We didn't.
Someone didn't bring in Gut Busters.
That's true.
And my stomach was not. Anyway, I was hungry. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get a pub sub. I'm not going to go to the deli counter guy. Hey, I do the commercials for Publix. But the deli counter, this is the Publix on North Lake, and it was really long. And I was like, I'm too hungry to wait in line. But the hot bar, like the fried chicken and all that, was open. There was no one there. So I was like, all right, I'll get the chicken tender meal. So I get the chicken tender meal and the Publix combo meal for those that have never been. You get 2 sides and a little roll, Deborah. I'm assuming you've never gone for the Publix.
I have not, no.
So I go there. I'm like, oh, chicken tenders combo. And I'm like, all right, definitely want a mac and cheese in one of my sides. But I didn't recognize any of the other sides. Usually, like the Publix on Collier, I'd get mac and cheese and green beans or mashed potatoes and green. There's usually a vegetable.
There's no mashed potato?
There was no mashed potatoes. The only thing I could identify were plantains, some sort of a plantain dish.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't. And the
no
lady,
collard greens or okra?
no vegetables that I could tell. There was other options, but even the lady, I was like, well, what is that one? And she'd stir it up. She's like, I don't know. I was like, and usually like there's identifiable stuff like black eyed peas and I could not, and I didn't taste them, so I don't know what it was or if it was good or bad. But I was like, all right, she didn't know what that. I'm like, what about this one? She stirs it up. She goes, I don't know.
They don't have like a little label?
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, they had 2 types of mac and cheese. They had the yellow and the white. So I was like, I'm not going to roll the dice on something you don't know what it is. So just give me double mac and cheese for my really healthy lunch for me yesterday. Anyway, back to Atlantic Station Publix closing. That's interesting. I guess I would think alone from Instacart deliveries that would, everyone in Midtown, they don't want to go shopping or they don't have a car to go to the grocery store. They would just get Instacart deliveries from. I thought that alone would keep it up. Maybe the rent's too high. I don't know. But some breaking news there. And if anyone knows what the side off dishes are offered at the Publix on North Lake in La Vista, I mean, I'm a foodie. I know food pretty well. I could only identify the plantains.
You didn't want to go in and just sample it and help everyone else out?
Well, they're slammed. Like when the lady comes to do the hot bar for me, they're losing a man on the sandwich
it's like the
making
lunch
side.
lady where she just got to get you through.
Well, I think I felt guilty because there was 12 people waiting for pub subs, and I just went and they lost one of the sub makers to get me my chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you've been there, Longoria. But I felt like Alex Williams. I did not know any of these foods. I knew it was some sort of a plantain dish, and then it was other various sides. Alex, I feel bad. I'm never going to mock you now for your lack of food knowledge because I was totally lost at Publix yesterday, buddy.
Listen, you sent us a good picture of that jar of gefilte fish. You could have grabbed that.
I did. You know what? I'm going to go back to Publix and get that gefilte fish. What's going on the roads, brother?
Hey, Mark, picking up a new slow zone in Henry County. I'm checking on this, 75 northbound. Looks like we might have some new trouble right around Jodico Road, exit 222. Going to see what's holding up that ride. And also another slow spot. I think there's a crash, 85 southbound, right around Metropolitan Parkway, exit 77, heading to the airport. Going to get DOT to swing around this jam cam so we can see what's cooking there. Traffic brought to you by AutoZone. Get in the zone. What makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination? Because they offer free battery testing and charging and reliable replacement batteries. And they've always got your battery solution. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Don't be late because you crowdsourced your commute with a navigation app.
This might become a travel advisory. Yeah, they're in 2 left lanes.
Depend on us.
See some delays if they shut that ramp down.
Make sure you get where you need to be on time.
Jam starting at Langford Parkway, getting past Spring Street.
Local and dependable traffic 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We had a lot going on this morning through Henry County.
WSB Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
Hey, friends, it's Mark Aaron back from my pals at Reliable Heating and Air. Check it out. This season, Reliable Heating and Air is giving up to $2,000 cash back when you upgrade to a high-efficiency water heater and whole home water purification system. $2,000. You want to do one or the other? It's $1,000 cash back. Amazing. For my friends at Reliable, book your free consultation by going to ReliableAir.com. Stay warm, stay hydrated, stay paid with Reliable.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Whether it's a slip that ends in a slip disc, a trick knee that's holding you back, or shoulder pain hurting your game, you can count on Northside Hospital Orthopedics. With leading care in Georgia at convenient locations all across the state, we're here to get you back on your feet, no matter what comes your way. Because Georgia moves us, and we keep Georgia moving. Find a provider near you at northside.com/ortho. That's northside.com/ORTHO.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
It's the end of the year. Time to look back and reflect. Look at all we did. But look at all the things we meant to do, but never actually did. After all those tipsy New Year's promises, you didn't join the gym. You didn't get around to reading War and Peace. And apparently, you didn't do anything about this garage door that's still not working right. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. A quick repair will get your garage door back in shape, no matter how much you eat. No crazy diets, just a smooth, quiet door going up and down like it should. And after all of your friends have bailed on their gym memberships, you'll have a garage door that works like a charm for several New Years to come. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and I'll throw in my copy of War and Peace. I mean, who am I kidding?
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers with my dad, Mike. Dad, what's the all-time best Christmas gift?
Diamond studs. Everybody needs a pair.
And ours don't break the bank. Real diamonds set in gold from just $275.
Yep, haven't raised those prices since the 80s.
How on earth does that work?
We get them straight from the source, just like we've done since 1939, and handpick the best and brightest.
And with D. Geller & Son's lifetime upgrade, get 100% of what you paid towards a bigger pair anytime for life.
We also have diamond jackets for $5.95 that go around the studs to instantly change the look.
And that's just one thing. We've got birthstone jewelry, stackable rings and bracelets.
Our best holiday selection ever at prices that can't be beat.
So come spend the holidays with the experts at D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw, Sandy Springs, and online at dgeller.com.
Affordable jewelry for everyone is at D. Geller & Son.
The path of mutual hostility and destruction in the horror of war has been traveled too long, with the deplorable results that are before everyone's eyes.
Is there anything more Christmas than playing a Pope Leo cut over a Christmas song? Welcome to the Mark Arum Show at 11:22. The Pope, noted White Sox and Chicago Bears fan, Pope Leo is apparently continuing his world tour. He is now in Lebanon, wrapping up his first foreign tour.
I'm Vicky Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. Pope Leo celebrated Mass in the Lebanese capital Beirut before a crowd of 150,000, deploring the country's ongoing sectarian strife.
The path of mutual hostility and destruction in the horror of war has been traveled too long, with the deplorable results that are before everyone's eyes.
The Pope also expressed regret that he wasn't able to visit the conflict zone in southern Lebanon, site of multiple Israeli attacks. Earlier, he prayed at the site of the 2020 Beirut port explosion, urging justice for the 218 victims. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
All right, so the Pope concluding his first world tour as Pope, the papal guy. Do you think, so he's from Chicago, Deborah. This is why I could never be Pope. The celibacy thing aside, even if they got rid of the celibacy thing, I would abuse my power. As Pope.
Well, in history, that's happened.
Sure. And I'm not going to say like I would steal from the church or anything like that or, excommunications, but I would use my influence. And I'm wondering if Pope Leo, who by all accounts, great dude, probably not corrupt in any way, not like as corrupt as I would be. But he's from Chicago. What was that place you went to in Kennesaw that just opened?
Oh, Portillo's?
Portillo's. Do you think he's sitting in the Vatican and he's like, I am dying for a Portillo's roast beef sandwich. Make it happen. And like he's, you know what I'm saying? Like just.
Yeah, I bet he is.
Like, enough with the bolognese. I need a deep dish.
He probably gold bellies that too.
Right?
Yeah.
All
Everyone needs a little bit of
yes.
home, right? Yeah.
So I wouldn't be, that's what I would use my papal powers for. I'd be like.
You'd make him fly back and get Waffle House or something?
Yeah. Or like, I haven't had a good lobster roll in a while.
Go find out what's at the Publix hot dish.
But I would do the same if I were president. So this isn't just, just the papal powers.
Any power.
Any power. Well, because there's, I can't remember what movie is it from, but like this rich Arab prince something would fly his private jet from like Riyadh, I'm making up destinations, to Paris to have lunch. That might have been real or might have been a movie.
Stolen escargot from yesterday?
But he'd be like, oh, I'm craving what's served in Paris? Something,
Frogs.
Escargot and frog. I'm craving, and he would just get on his private jet. Now, I'm not saying Pope Leo would do that.
No, I don't think Pope Leo
No.
would do that, but he might have it shipped over.
Like a Chicago dog, which I'm not a fan of. I'll eat him if you give me one. But if he's the Pope, he's the Pope. He's not getting pushback if he wants, like, you know what? Chicago dogs for everybody. Like all the Cardinals. Who's down?
I don't think he abuses his power that way.
But is that even an abuse of power? Like
it was a higher calling that says, I feel the need for a Chicago dog.
Yes. And like I do here, when I come in, I'm starving. I'm like, who's down for Goldberg's? Yeah, Goldberg's, or maybe it comes out of his purse. Like he gets a certain amount of money to do papal things.
I imagine some people would be willingly donated like it is to our show sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Portillo's in Kennesaw. Boom. You want to get on the map, the grand opening? You thought you struck it big when Longoria showed up for the VIP opening? Send Pope Leo a care basket. I bet he's coming back from Lebanon, eating the khubzi and the hummus. Lebanese food is great, by the way. Shout out to my buddy Talal Barakat from home. Very, very popular in the Lebanese community. Love my Lebanese friends. All right, that was a tangent. I apologize, but I would abuse my papal powers. When we come back, two big local stories. What's going on with Lake Lanier shorelines? And Jeff Bezos makes a huge donation to the metro area. We'll give the details next on The Mark Arum Show.
You still want a new deck on your house, but you think you may have missed a deck building window? Well, you're wrong. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations, my deck experts. What makes them my experts? Well, for starters, when you have Ben Hill Renovations upgrading your outdoor living space, you're dealing with professionals. You have a company building to code, current and future. You have a company pulling permits when needed, with a dedicated project manager for every job, superior craftsmanship from over 60 plus years of experience, and all backed by their workmanship warranty. Whether you want a screened-in porch, an outdoor living area, a multi-story wraparound deck, or just a simple deck with a set of stairs, Ben Hill Renovations has you covered. Plus, they offer multiple financing options, up to 18 months, no interest with affordable monthly payments. Check out their new website at bhrenovations.com and set up an appointment, or visit their showroom and speak with a designer. You won't be disappointed. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Hey guys, are you striking out in the bedroom? Because pills like Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra just don't work anymore. Here's how Choice Men's Health is solving PE and ED issues. Meet Dr. Katz, the expert in men's health.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Choice Men's Health offers safe, custom-blended medications designed to fit your needs. There is no pain or surgery. It doesn't matter how old you are or if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues. Not a problem. It's safe and affordable for everyone. You'll see results in 15 minutes guaranteed, or you don't pay anything. Solve the problem of ED and PE now.
For a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are free. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170. To claim your initial consultation and first treatment for free. Call Choice Men's Health now. 404-400-1170.
The holidays are here, friends, so let my friends at Publix help you save money by shopping the buy one, get one deals every week. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back with you. BOGOs galore at your neighborhood Publix supermarkets. Check out the BOGO deals before you shop, by the way. Expert tip. You can find the weekly ad online at Publix.com or in the Publix app. My favorite experience at Publix are the BOGOs. Free item must be of equal or lesser value, of course. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
If you're seeing cracks in the walls upstairs, downstairs, or outside, maybe even a door not closing, call the Foundation Repair Specialist. Hi, it's Mark Beckham here with Atlanta Ramjack, and we are your leading foundation repair experts. Set up your free estimate right now at atlantaramjack.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news is sponsored by Main Street Auto. Our top local story, escaped prisoner Timothy Shane should be considered armed and dangerous. He's been on the run now for 2 days. The Rockdale County inmate took off from Grady while he was there for a mental evaluation. Investigators say he stole a car and a gun from inside it, stole another car, and even called an Uber to take him to a house in Rockdale County. He was not found in that area. The 5'9" white male was last seen on video in dark pants and a red hoodie. Anybody with information is being asked to call police. We are on the line right now with Rockdale County, and we will have new information for you coming up in the news for noon. All right, your weather for today, cloudy and breezy throughout the day with a high of 48. Some of those winds could be gusting up to 20 miles an hour out of the northwest. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards will have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. The man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is back in court today. Luigi Mangioni's lawyers asking a judge to exclude some evidence from his upcoming state trial, including Mangioni's notebook, which prosecutors believe reveal a motive. Mangioni has pleaded not guilty. Correspondent Jerika Duncan has more on that story.
Investigators say they discovered a notebook and 9mm handgun in Mangioni's backpack, key evidence his defense team is asking the court to suppress. They argue police did not have a search warrant and failed to read Mangioni his Miranda rights.
A trial date has not yet been set. Costco is suing the Trump administration. Mitch McCann reporting this morning the warehouse chain is seeking refunds for the tariffs it had paid on imported items under the International Emergency Powers Act.
The complaint, which was filed in the U.S. Court of International Trade, argues that the president misused the law when implementing his sweeping tariffs and states that it's Congress, not the White House, that has the authority to implement tariffs.
Now, Costco does not say in this filing how much it's looking to recover. Other companies have also filed legal challenges against the tariffs, including Revlon, Kawasaki, and Bumblebee. The Supreme Court set to rule on the legality of those tariffs. The Publix grocery store in Atlantic Station soon going to be closing its doors for good after more than 20 years at that location. Store employees were told that the last day of business will be December 27th. San Francisco suing food manufacturers over the ultra-processed products. Correspondent Michael Wallace has more on that.
City Attorney David Chu tells the New York Times the lawsuit he's filing today will name 10 corporations. He says Doritos, Slim Jim meat sticks, and many other ultra-processed foods are causing diseases that are burdening local governments with public health costs. He also accuses the companies of unfair and deceptive acts in how they market their foods. Chu's suit on behalf of the state of California will seek unspecified damages.
And Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has also blamed ultra-processed foods for chronic diseases. Let's take a look at the markets. The Dow is currently up 64, 47,353. NASDAQ is up slightly, and the S&P is now in the red. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, Sabrina, found what's holding you up trying to get down to the airport. It's stalled in the right lane, 85 southbound and Metropolitan Parkway, exit 77. Those brake lights are spilling back onto 75, 85 south there from Langford Parkway. WSB's own Ashley Frasca says it's a little bunched up through Marietta, 75 and northbound as you make your way past North Marietta Parkway heading up toward I-575 and I-20 eastbound on the West Freeway. Those right lanes are slow between Fulton Industrial Boulevard and I-285, the west side perimeter. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Cloudy, breezy, drizzly today with a high of 48. Will dry out for tonight, lows dipping down to near freezing. Tomorrow, a little bit more sunshine with a high of 51, becoming mostly cloudy again on Thursday, high 49.
It is 47 degrees in Sugar Hill and 47 in Stone Mountain. We'll have more news at noon, breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
I've had some great Mondays. I'm having a good Monday right now. Look at beautiful outside.
Got that nice loud shirt.
Eric Von Hassler has an opinion.
It's a citrusy, summery, I think breezy kind of shirt.
And some advice.
But just remember this.
Eric Von Hassler, today at 3.
I never have and never will smoke a cigar.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
You may have seen a different doctor. You may be on different medications. You have the different concerns.
Dr. Oz reminding seniors that Medicare enrollment ends Sunday, December 7th. Coming up next, a couple of big local stories to update, and Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Straight ahead on The Mark Arum Show.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com. Hey folks, it's Scott Slade with another great tip from my friends at Myland, Atlanta's local experts for home loans. So many people have credit card balances they don't pay off every month, which makes holidays more stressful than they could be or should be. The guys at Myland say a great product to use to reduce the amount you pay is a home equity line of credit, or HELOC. This allows you to use the equity in your home to pay off high-interest credit card debt without touching your first mortgage. HELOCs are typically easier and faster to close than a full mortgage, so you can expect to get cash much faster. Whether you want to pay off debts or handle large expenses, HELOCs could be a great tool to use. To find out if one is right for you, call Myland at 770-817-2000. That's 770-817-2000. Or online at myland.com. Spell it M-I-L-E-N-D. And please tell them I sent you. NMLS Georgia Residential Mortgage License C148769, located at 8995 Westside Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia 30009. Myland is an equal housing lender.
Hey folks, it's Belinda. What you have planned this weekend? How about visiting the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market in Cumming, Friday through Sunday this weekend? Grab your spouse or your friends and go on a treasure hunt with over 500 booths. Everything you can imagine, from jewelry, collectibles, sports memorabilia, antiques, furniture, handcrafts, and toys. Every aisle and row is a different adventure. Come on out this weekend to the Lakewood 400 Antiques Market, 1321 Atlanta Highway in Cumming. Visit LakewoodAntiques.com.
Spend your time with those who matter most this holiday season and sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, and the best part, there is no stress. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra coming back here on the Mark Arum Show, 1137, the best of the 80s, 90s.
Do not talk
today.
like that.
I know. I could not be a music DJ like Rockstress FM. Welcome back to the program. Coming back to Trans-Siberian Orchestra, because not only do we have one pair of tickets to see, there you go, this amazing group, but two pair today, Deborah. What do we have exactly?
Yeah, TSO, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, The Best of TSO and more. That is at Gas South Arena coming up December 14th.
Ooh.
2 pairs of tickets to give away.
That's the Sunday of Clark's Christmas Kids in Mayretta. After. Yeah, you go to the concert. You go to Christmas Kids first, and then Longoria will drive you to the show. All right, Vin. Callers 6 and 7 won a pair of tickets to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, courtesy the Mark Arum Show, 95.5 WSB. Oh, you probably need the phone number to win the tickets. 7th callers to 404-872-0750. 6th and 7th callers to 404-872-0750 win a pair of tickets to see. I mean, literally, if you knock that out, I guess you can't do it as a stocking stuffer since it's December 14th. But a pre-Christmas gift. Stuff that into your Advent calendar. When do you start opening stuff on the Advent calendar?
Did yesterday,
Yes.
December 1st.
Started.
Yeah,
Okay,
the first
excellent.
of the month.
All right, so there you go. We are awaiting a couple of big things internationally. Putin has left the Kremlin, going to meet with Wyckoff and Kushner to talk about that. And any moment now, President Trump's going to have his cabinet meeting. We'll see if he's asked about that controversial narco boat attack back on September 2nd. So we might dip in the next couple of minutes to check on those breaking stories. But I do want to update a couple of local stories. A Lake Lanier story. Lake Lanier, that's another one of those holiday things, right? Lake Lanier holiday lights.
Oh, they do the lights, yeah.
Yeah. This is not about the Lake Lanier holiday lights, though. They are starting to make adjustments to the Lake Lanier shore lines. What exactly are they doing up there?
Yeah, you know, every year we report on some dangerous things that happen out at Lake Lanier. So the Lake Lanier Association has just finished a phase where they're protecting the shorelines. They're basically reinforcing that area because they've had a lot of erosion there over the past couple of years. And what happens is that as more people out there, it's harder for boats to be out there. It's harder for swimmers to be out there. And that's kind of why you see a lot of these issues that are happening. So they've gone and they've added these strategically placed rocks, basically. They added some more dirt, so it just kind of helps the shoreline. And they're saying that some of the little islands out there have disappeared, and they don't want any more to disappear because then your boating
Your boat
all
will
of a sudden
hit them.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
wow. So is that an Army Corps of Engineer kind of thing, I would imagine?
This says it's the Lake Lanier Association.
Vice chairman of the Lake Lanier Association is the most handsome producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto, and he's got one of those pontoon boats. I don't want Yamamoto in his pontoon boat out day drinking to run into a submerged island in the middle of Lake Lanier. So that's a big task, to do that. I remember down in St. Pete Beach, I will occasionally go down there and stay in Pass-a-Grille, which is in St. Pete Beach. And they did like this multi-million-dollar thing to shore up the beach because of beach erosion, whatever. Like, it was beautiful. And then the hurricane came, and everything they did was wiped out. Everything they did was wiped out. But all right, so positive news. That's a costly endeavor to shore up a shoreline. Shore up a shoreline. Peter Piper picked a pick of peckle pickers. Yeah. Jeff Bezos. One more local story, Deborah. Jeff Bezos making, depending on what list you set, one of the top 5 richest people in the world.
One of the top 5.
And his ex-wife is up there too. She got half. I want half, Eddie. I want half. Jeff Bezos making a big donation to Metro Atlanta.
Yeah, and you and I could probably be responsible for this from all of our orders. at Amazon. But St. Vincent de Paul of Georgia has received a $5 million grant from the Bezos Day One Family Fund. So this is the biggest donation they ever had. And basically, St. Vincent de Paul, who we work with every year
That's
at
right,
this time
Christmas
for Clark's
Kids.
Christmas Kids, they're going to be able to use that money to help like the unhoused and not just give them housing, but also skills and support and counseling so that they don't have to stay unhoused.
Yeah.
They'll be able to get back in the community.
Does it say what Mr. Bezos is donating? How much money?
$5 million.
$5 million.
$5 million.
I wonder. So his ex-wife, whose name escapes me now, Mackenzie, is like the greatest philanthropist on the globe right now. Like she just donated like $50 million to HBCUs. She is just making it rain with that Amazon money she got when she divorced Jeff. Do you think he's feeling pressure at all and being like, man, your ex is so generous? Like she's in the headlines all the time for donations. Do you think that's inspiring him or pressuring him to start making more donations?
I mean, he's in the headlines a lot too, just not for
Not
making
for that
donations.
stuff, yeah.
I don't know that it's pressuring him, but I mean, he has the resources, right?
He does, for sure. I would feel that, like I would feel pressure.
If he can send Katy Perry to space, he can, give St. Vincent de Paul some money.
Well said, Deborah. Well said. This is a story I have not been following. The Trump Presidential Library. This is down in Florida. Did he get an official library after his first term? I don't know what the process is there. I don't think it's mandatory.
I don't remember that. I feel like we would have reported on that.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a thing. And the only reason I remember it is because they say they're going to donate that Qatari jet. Remember, Qatar's going to gift a jet to the United States. It's going to be Air Force One, and then it'll be donated to the Trump Presidential Library. Those are things, the presidential libraries. Anyway, in an effort to prove they are not violating Florida's transparency laws, the Miami-Dade College Board of Trustees is holding a second vote about a land transfer that would be used to create President Trump's future presidential library. A plan was originally approved in September that would allow the parcel, which is currently an employee parking lot, to be used for the project. Loyola law professor Lori Levison commenting on this story.
The reason that there's another hearing is that there was the claim that the Miami-Dade College Board of Trustees, who initially gave this property to Trump for his presidential library, violated Florida's Sunshine Law. Under that law, the public should have notice and an opportunity for public discussion, and there should be transparency over the proposal of giving this prime property to Trump's presidential library.
I don't know what's going on with that. I hope they work it out, et cetera. But overall, the presidential library theme. When I was a kid, libraries were a big deal. You wanted to know anything that was going on in the world, you had to go to the library. And I was blessed. The Torrington Public Library was a top-notch library. You can go in there, books galore, newspapers from all over the world with the big wooden thing. Did you ever see those?
Yeah, we had those too.
And they would put the paper on the big wooden thing, and then middle schoolers like me would take the paper out and then use them as sword fights with our friends. But they had VHS tapes back then.
Yeah.
Like the library card, that was a big deal. I don't know what the state of libraries are in 2025. Do your girls ever go to the public library?
Yeah, my youngest goes to the library to get tutored.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the public libraries.
But there's certainly not the impact that libraries had when we were growing up.
I mean, my school, or the one that I went to in my hometown, also had reading programs.
Yeah.
They also would, because in the summer when we didn't have school, they would have movies and activities so that basically all the kids could just go hang out at the library. And they made if you read these books, we'll give you a pizza party. But we also had CDs and tapes, which is where I always would sit in and listen to all the music.
And maybe libraries are still an important part of the community. I certainly had great memories of the library.
Microfiche still a thing?
Microfiche. Oh, have to go and research that. And maybe the only time I'm go to a library now is to vote.
Does Vinny ever go to the library?
I don't think Vinny's been to the public library. Maybe the school library. Vinny, you ever been to a public library in your life? Like a library card, anything like that? He doesn't. He's not. He's licking envelopes right now to get the Mark Arum Show Christmas cards out. But anyway, back to the presidential libraries. Why not? Because who's going to the Obama Library or the Jimmy Carter Library or Bill Clinton Library or Gerald R. Ford? Just say what they are. These are presidential museums, basically, right? where you put
Yeah,
artifacts.
it's not like it's just books in there. There's
Yeah.
plenty of other stuff about here for Jimmy Carter. Yeah.
All right. If elected president, I'm not going to have a presidential Mark Aaron presidential library. I'm just going to have a museum. And be like, oh, those are the cleats that Mark wore senior year in high school when he threw that shutout against
the Mark Aaron Waffle House
Derby. Here's the Mark Aaron Waffle House sweatshirt. He wore this during Snowmageddon.
It's the expired black card you had at
The expired Chick-fil-A black card.
And then we can put a picture of the pasta pass.
The never-ending pasta pass.
What he should have
never got.
Yeah.
His failure to get the pasta pass spurred him to the presidency. It ignited a fire in his belly. Because if you're going to a town, like, oh, what are the big attractions here? Oh, we've got this, and a presidential library. I'd be like, meh. But if they go, I get this, and the Grover Cleveland Museum, I'd be, oh.
It's like in that Netflix movie.
Yes. I'm like, yeah, I'll go to the museum. The library just doesn't have the pizzazz. So if elected, I will not have a Mark Aaron presidential library. I will have a Mark Aaron museum. And then I can finally get all the stuff that I've been hoarding my entire life into a proper space. All right, 11:48 on the Mark Arum Show. Let's take the drive around town, live with the latest. Alex Williams.
Hey, Mark, got some better news heading to the airport. That stall has cleared out of the right lane. 85 southbound Metropolitan Parkway, exit number 71. Still some leftover delays there. And now got a crash on the I-285 eastbound outer loop ramp to I-75 south in Clayton County. It's on the left shoulder for now where a car ran off the roadway, but it's already starting to call some brake lights back through those airport tunnels. And if you're traveling downtown, crash off to the right, 7585 southbound just past North Avenue, causing a few brake lights as you leave 17th Street there in Midtown. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
When we came up with the idea for Clark's Christmas Kids 35 years ago, I told myself we were going to help every foster child across the state. But we need your help. To find out how you can make a child's Christmas wishes come true, visit WSBRadio.com.
Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety every bite, backed by their 100% guarantee. They've been in business since 1917. They're kind of like America's Butcher. They're the butcher shop that my house uses often for great deals. Omaha Steaks has delicious offerings, and they make meal prep so easy for our house. Even like the individually wrapped boneless, skinless chicken breasts, fantastic and tender. They're not like steroided, roid rage chicken breasts. They're tender. They're the perfect size. Everything you get from Omaha Steaks is great. Right now, you get 50% off site-wide and an extra 20% off select favorites at omahasteaks.com. It's their cyber sale. And at checkout, you put in Eric as your promo code. You get an extra $35 off. Terms apply. See site for detail. omahasteaks.com. 50% off site-wide, 20% off select favorites. At checkout, use Eric, E-R-I-C-K, as your promo code. You're going to get an extra $35 off. Incredible value, incredible steaks. omahasteaks.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired. And don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today. 404-208-3300. That's 404-208-3300.
Annuities not advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at trajanwealth.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey, friends, have you filed an insurance claim for a roof replacement only to be denied? Are you not sure what to do? You're not alone. Dr. Roof here to help. Hey, it's Mark Aram. Dr. Roof specializes in reviewing the storm damage and getting your roof replaced. They've been around for over 37 years and can help you with all of your options. Don't settle for a denied or partial insurance claim. Get the roof you deserve with Dr. Roof online at drroof.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free. And though my love is great.
Love this song, love this artist. Happy 47th birthday, Nelly Furtado. Turns 47 today, born December 2nd, 1970. She's older than I thought she was. One more musical birthday, Charlie Puth. We already got to, Deborah. Did you know that it was this lady's birthday today as well? This one. Britney Spears turns 44. She blew up in the pop scene.
I don't know if I feel sorry for her or not, with just the way her life is.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Welcome back to the Mark Aram Show. President Trump right now holding his cabinet meeting. He's just giving opening remarks right now, but we'll monitor that. President Trump, famously a star of Home Alone 2, right, in New York. Didn't he made a cameo there with Kevin McAllister? Yeah. Just to show you how much things have changed economically. Deborah, they did some research on what Kevin McAllister's hotel stay would have cost him back in New York in the early 90s. Compared to what it is now. First of all, how did he afford that? The Plaza, right? He stayed at the Plaza.
Yeah, well, remember
Hotel?
he stole his dad's wallet, or he had his dad's bag, so he just charged everything to his dad's
All right, so how much
card.
did that cost Kevin McAllister back in the day?
Back in 1992, when the movie came out, he had $1,000 room service charge, but the total bill ended up being $2,233, so $2,233, right?
For how many nights?
What does it say?
Because that's not a bad. I mean, he had a nice suite.
Yeah, he was there for a couple days.
Yeah.
Too.
That's all right.
Maybe a week. Anyway.
So how much is it now?
So with inflation and everything, that room service would be $2,000, and the total bill would be $8,511.
Have you recently tried to book a hotel in New York?
No.
I've never been to New York.
You've never been to New York?
No.
Really?
Never been to New York.
Do you want to drive up with me for Christmas?
Sure.
You think
Let's do it?
I want to take you to New York now.
Okay, let's go.
I've been to New York at Christmas, yeah.
When we were going to go for Maya's birthday in New York, I was booking hotels online with help from Clark Howard. And it's weird. There's like no mid-level priced hotels.
Really?
You either stay in like a youth hostel or like fancy schmancy Home Alone. Like there's no...
Should have stayed at Clark's place.
He didn't offer it. He didn't offer it. But like you want to book a hotel in Atlanta, you've got, the bottom 1-star hotels, and sure, you've got 5-star hotels, but there's a plethora of like normal, just regular hotels.
Yeah, exactly.
New York City, there's none of those.
So what did you have to drop a lot of money, or were you going to stay outside the city?
I dropped credit card points. But that was a mistake, too, because then I had to cancel and I lost points. Anyway, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. All right, Home Alone 2. I'm going to rewatch that movie. President Trump is now talking about inflation, but he has not commented yet on the Hegseth story. Quick congrats to Becky from Griffin and Ross from Douglasville. They won a pair of tickets to see TSO, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show, on December 14th. WSB. Depend on it.
Longoria's fact of the day.
Pigeon.
Would you say pigeon?
Pigeon.
All right. Today is National Fritter Day, and the earliest known fritters are believed to be from ancient Rome, where a dish called, and I'm going to butcher this, scribletta, was made with vegetables, meat, or seafood and fried in oil. In the Middle Ages, fritters became very popular throughout Europe. The name fritter likely comes from a recipe called frittore, which featured fried fruit.
Deborah, is a hush puppy considered a fritter?
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know.
I think so. I blew everyone's mind at Steamhouse Lounge on Saturday. I got the shrimp po' boy, and everyone else was like, what do you want for your side? Fries, tater tots. I go, hush puppies. And everyone's like, you can get hush puppies for a side? I was like, yes, you can. And they were like, all right, I want hush puppies instead. I'm going to say hush puppies a fritter. That's my fact of the day. Conch fritters.
And now, are you guys ready for
corn
the Mark
fritters?
Arum
Corn
Star
fritters is
Show?
not good. All right, stars of the show. Core 4, fantastic. Deborah, by the way, AI version of our Christmas card, fantastic. Longoria, stoic as ever. Vinny licked 100,000 envelopes and went to the mailroom and pulled audio. And I didn't do anything, but I bought us breakfast. Oh, our guests, Graham Carroll, Ace Atkins, Colonel Jeff McCausland, Hannah Brent, Scott Slade, Karen Travers, Mike Dubusky. Heard. Big show tomorrow. Social medias active throughout the day. I got a busy day, so I'll be on them. At Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe, stay dry. Have a great Tuesday, Atlanta.
WSB Atlanta, WSB-FM, and HD1